Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday Group Call. I am Kevin T. Robertson, CEO of SpeakerFocus.com, here with the team from SpeakerFocus.com, Mr. Auston Troyer and the tech team, bringing new innovative ideas to the platform every single week. I am so thrilled to be here with you for another weekly group Q&A session where we come together as a community and answer any and every question pertaining to growing your speaker business. I want to give a shout out to everybody on the platform who is turning in great work. Speaker video demos are rolling in. People are getting their marketing, sales tools, messaging, and they are getting to the point of automating their speaker business and learning the new way to connect with these conference coordinators, breaking through in the marketplace to make their voice and their brand be heard. I can tell you right now that I am definitely excited to be on the group call tonight. Let me go to the chat first. I think some people are giving me some shout outs. Hey, Charlene Giselle, I see your hand up already. Anita Yarborough, I'll be right with you as soon as I finish with my monologue and my opening. And let me see. Hey, Alex, what's going on, brother? Nice to always see you. Ed Babcock. Ed turned in a fire speaker video demo. Ed, I loved your very authentic approach. It was you looked at the templates and you put your own signature on there. Clearly your demonstration about your expertise was on full display for your speaker video demo. I just watched it. I believe it was yesterday or either early this morning. I sent you some feedback on it. Absolutely amazing job, Ed, on your speaker demonstration video. And I love the fact that you have a leadership program to help the old school people understand technology. So I'm just absolutely thrilled that the strategy is working for you. See, Ed Babcock is definitely an example of someone who has an abundance of experience, already has superior oratorical skills, elocution, very well presented, and he's very articulate. He chose to invest in himself and speakerfocus.com to take his speaking to a whole nother level. Now, this is a president of International Toastmasters in New Hampshire. And Ed, you did an amazing job at being able to take the tools and then take your brand to a whole nother level. Absolutely thrilled and so proud to be working with you as your brand develops. You made it so clear about the value that you deliver for the conference coordinator. I mean, outstanding job. I can't rave about it enough. Hey, Lisa Allman Baldwin. Missed everyone last week. My weekly family coming to you from Lisa's in Ecuador, chilling. Never been there before. Lisa, you gotta give me all the rave reviews about it. Love working with these business professionals who get a chance to travel the globe and share their experiences with me about what it is that they do. Hey, Anita, what's going on? Rafa, what's up, my brother? Rafa's putting in that work out there in California. Hey, Michelle, what's going on? Eileen, smiling, webpage is coming along well. That's good. Good to hear. Oh, Eileen, I'm so happy for you that you finally getting a hold of the technology. Yeah, absolutely. Ed did an outstanding job. Ed, you should, Ed, that praise is well deserved, brother. Let me tell you something. One of the best illustrations of a speaker demonstration video that we have on our website. Rico, what's going on, boss? Doing super fantastic today. Okay, Austin's locked in. KTR's locked in. We are ready to go. We're going to answer the first question. Wait a minute. I think I had a question in the Q&A. Anonymous attendee. Hey, Slim, looking good. Okay, whoever that is, don't know who you are. From anonymous attendee. Austin might want to check that in the chat box and see who that is. Make sure nobody's hacked into the system. Got a lot of strange things going on in the world of technology. I know Twitter, I'm sorry, not Twitter. I know Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp was having some complications today. Maybe Many of you are like me. You try to put up a post a day. You try to send a WhatsApp message through one of your international clients, and it wasn't going through, or your Instagram post just kept acting funny. Well, remember that WhatsApp and Instagram is owned by, guess who? Facebook. So it's all tied in together. It's got to be some kind of issue. I know I did a Google search on it a little earlier, and it came up they were having some kind of challenge. Don't know how I did it. Brian. Oh, that was Brian Rehorn. Okay. All right, Brian, you were the unanimous person. Okay. All right, no problem. Glad to have you here with us. Yep. WhatsApp was off all day, so that makes sense. Yep. Absolutely. Okay. All right, Brian. Well, also, you don't have to worry about somebody hacked into the system. That was Brian Rehorn said that was him in the chat box. Okay, let's go in. Charlene, Anita, Alex, I see you with your hand up. Let's go. Charlene, you're up first on the Speaker Focus weekly Q&A. Charlene, how can I help you?
Hi. How are you today?
Oh, great. I'm losing weight. My blood pressure is steady and stable.
Great to hear. That's amazing news.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I feel amazing. I feel amazing. What's your question, Charlene?
A quick one. So the first one was, what do you think of getting an agent?
Interesting question. Okay. Do you have multiple questions, or that's just your first one?
I have two. So first one is because one of my friend who is really successful in the keynote space, we had a lunch together, and I was just running some ideas by him, and he said, listen, the thing that's gonna really take it to the next level is getting yourself an agent. And there are quite a few agencies in London. I have a PR agent, and she's doing an amazing job, but she doesn't do speaking engagements. So I was wondering what you think about it, because he said that basically that's how he gets 80% of his speaking engagement. So I thought you might have a view on that. That's question number one. And question number two is just about the fourth keynote. I've decided to rewrite it a little bit, and I wanted to run the title by you. That's all my question for tonight.
Okay, no problem. So let's take the first question, because this pops up often, and I do have a strong opinion about it in module 2 on agents, booking agents, speakers bureaus, booking managers, attorneys trying to do this for you, personal assistant trying to do it for you. And what it all really boils down to is that these people are not skilled at lead generation. So what I would say to your friend, with all due respect, is how many engagements is he booking from the agent every single month? And is he able to eat off of that and have a high fee income? If he is, great for him for his booking agent. But typically what happens now, when you get an agent, first of all, everybody wants a manager and they want an agent. I talk to at least 50 speakers a week that do not come on our platform that is looking for somebody else to do it for them. And we don't do done for you services. We teach people how to be empowered. Charlene, I can't tell you how many speakers that I talk to that were booking $30,000, $40,000, and $50,000 worth of engagements by relying on someone else to do it for them prior to the pandemic. Let's say they had somebody who could fill up a room so they could sell their product. I talked to speakers that were in partnership with people who could do that prior to the pandemic, but it was inconsistent. Then I was talking to speakers that were relying on a booking agent or a speakers bureau who would get them bookings. And when the pandemic hit, all of that went away. You know why? Because they didn't have a lead generation system of predictability and consistency. Now, typically, the high profile, high net worth athletes, celebrities, entertainers, the people who are media darlings and who invested a ton of money in the PR and who's been on the circuit, and typically that does not automatically translate into bookings for speaking engagements just because you had a media appearance. Yet that's what everybody thinks is going to happen. Oh, I'm going to do some media. I'm going to do a press tour. and I'm gonna blow up and start booking speaking engagements. No, unless you have a lead generation system in place where you have control over the flow of those leads. And then you can get those leads to convert, which means you have to close those leads. Then you don't have control over how many speaking engagements you're going to get every month and how much money you can anticipate on making. Now, again, if your contact is a high fee speaker and he's doing 5, 10, 15, 20 plus $1,000 for a keynote, and that booking agent or that speakers bureau is getting him money every single month that he could count on and rely on, and he's paying his bills, then good for him. But the problem is when you're at the bottom of the totem pole, and you need to listen to me when I tell you this, because a speakers bureau, they are not skilled at lead generation. They're skilled at picking up the phone and saying, hey, do you know Charlene Giselle out of London? Can you get me her? Can you get me her and book her at our engagement? Then they can do that and they'll take 20%. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. You bringing money to the table, you should get a piece of the pizza. But very rarely can they deliver on what they say they can do.
Yeah, I'll add just to piggyback off Kevin, like you mentioned, it's all about the control and leverage. And the most important part of business in general is who controls the customer. How are you getting new customers every single month? How are you getting speaking engagements every month? And if you're putting your main flow of new business and relying on someone else to do it, and you don't have control and you don't have that leverage, all it takes is them to say, hey, I've decided to work with someone else, and now your entire business is crumbled because you don't have your own system in place to get new leads and to get new business yourself. So it can be a nice way to supplement what you already have going on, but I wouldn't make it the main thing. Your main thing should be figuring out, how do I build my own system to attract new conference coordinators on my calendar every single day? And until I figure that out, I should not be focusing on, really anything else. And once you do have, that system in place, which we teach you in the program, and you're doing 50, 100K a month in speaking engagements, then you can say, okay, maybe I'll have an agent come in and bring in, a little bit more speaking revenue, but do not rely on that as your main thing. It'll feel good, for a little while until it doesn't feel good when, your entire business falls apart overnight because they have all the control and leverage.
Yeah.
And Kevin can vouch for that. He's worked with bureaus in the past, and it doesn't feel good when, you're at the mercy of them. They control your fees, they control the relationship, they control everything because they have the customer. So don't fall into that trap.
Yeah. Excellent point, Austin. Thank you so much. Charlene, this is why you invested money in Speaker Focus, so you can get that kind of advice.
Oh yeah. No, this is amazing. And I'm sorry, perhaps I miscommunicated. I wasn't implying that I didn't want to go through the system. I believe in the system 100%. As an add-on.
Oh yeah, I definitely, listen, you've done everything we asked you to do since you've been on this platform. And I know with the caliber client that you were coming into this, you're going to get those opportunities because you have a strong brand. See, remember this, as your star is rising, everybody wants to dip their straw into your milkshake. Me and Austin get proposed with all kinds of deals every single day. When they see that you're generating revenue, they want a piece of it. But me and Austin are the ones, and our team, we're the ones that put this business together. We're the ones that grew it from the ground up when it was an idea in our heads. So nobody's getting a free ride here because nobody's giving us a free ride. See, when you start developing your brand, of course, if you're doing a media tour and you're a New York Times bestselling author, which there are very few of those, or if you are, again, you're a media darling. When I say media darling, the media loves people that's hot for the moment. Sully, They made a movie about his life. He landed the plane on the Hudson Bay, and there were no casualties. Everybody survived. He was a hero. Yeah, he's gonna be hot for a minute, and every speakers bureau in the world is gonna try to get him to speak. So understand, I am not against speakers bureaus, booking managers. Make your money, but you better understand this, and everybody need to hear me good. If they're not skilled at lead generation, like the system that we teach on speakerfocus.com, and that system was taken to a whole nother level by the man himself, Mr. Auston Troyer. If you don't have control over the lead, you're going to lose at the end of the day. I've been at the mercy of these speakers bureaus. I've been at the mercy of a booking manager, somebody in the college market that said they can book me 10 times a month. I'm sitting there salivating, no, 10 times a month, and they're going to book me at $3,000, and they're going to take 10% of that or 20%. And it never happened. I've actually paid people money to book me to speak, and they still didn't give me any speaking engagements. You know why? Because that's when I was still in lazy mode. I didn't understand leverage like I do now. Or when I got at the height of my career, when I had it popping like a bag of microwave popcorn. It started out real slow, but once I got hot and once I got real good, I didn't need to rely on media interviews. I didn't need to rely on anybody. I was in control of the lead. That's really what you want at the end of the day. Bureaus and everything is secondary. If they can do what they say they're going to do. By the time you actually need them, you're not going to need them, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens when you have leverage. When you have leverage, like right, me and Austin, we don't need them. They need us. They need our platform to sell their shit. We don't need their platform to sell ours, because we got leads coming out of our ears right now. We got more people that want to book a call with me for me to be their speaker coach than I can handle. That's what we're teaching you on this platform. It's leverage. Now, I hope you understood me clear. You can entertain it later down the line, but probably by the time you need them, you're not going to need them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's deal with your second question. I didn't mean to make that long and drawn out, but see, when I got strong views on something, it's because it affected my revenue. And what you don't want, and it's a staggering amount of people that rely on that kind of thinking, and they think that that's going to book them speaking engagements. And it's just not reality. And I'm the only person in this industry, or me and Austin, I should say, we're the only people in our space who have the balls or guts enough to tell it to you like that. Let's move to the next question.
Great, that was super useful. The second, I think you're going to love it, Katia. I decided to make my fourth signature program leadership. And I was thinking about, because I actually was interviewed on sustainable leadership last week by a journalist. And I was thinking of calling it 360 Sustainable Leadership. I just wanted to run it by you.
You said 360 Sustainable Leadership?
Mm-hmm.
I love that title. That's a variation of your 360 based sustainability or 360 sustainable leadership. I like either or.
You do?
Yes, it has a great ring. See, this is what I love about what you're learning on this platform. What we give you is the blueprint, just a baseline of what you can work from. It's okay to keep using your creativity to modify the titles and the descriptions and all of everything it is that we're doing. That's just something, a point from you to work from. But I like the fact that you're taking your brand and you're taking it to a whole nother level. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Me and Austin see example after example every single week of what happens when an Ed Babcock takes the speaker video demo literally to a whole nother level. Ed exemplifies what simplicity is all about. It wasn't a bunch of bells and whistles. He took the examples that we sent to him. He looked at some other speaker video demos. And Ed said, okay, I understand what they're doing. I get what the formula is, but I got another ingredient I'm gonna add in. I'm gonna do it my way. And I clearly felt that And Charlene, this is what you're learning to do. You're learning to take the blueprint and saying, okay, see, I can always call Austin and Kevin on a group call. I can always send a support ticket. I can always get some advice. And you're coming up with new things, especially when you realize that the market needs it. You don't have to sit around and wait for me. Create these signature programs, especially those of you who are out there in the marketplace, talking to coordinators every single day, or you're talking to coordinators on a week-to-week basis. The market always dictates what you should be doing. The needs of the market, I should say, should dictate how you should be creating your signature programs. If you feel like the market is in need of it and you have it and they want it, they're going to get it. Bottom line, I love it. Keep innovating, keep growing, and be willing to make modifications in your marketing language. Me and Austin do it every single day. Does this convert? If it doesn't put money in the bank at the end of the day, you can best believe we're going to make a modification and an adjustment. We do it all the time. Never be married to your marketing language or your sales tools. Always be willing to take another run at it and keep making improvements, because the market is going to tell you what you need to do. Because when it's not converting into revenue, the market is saying to you, we don't like you. When you don't get the answer or feedback you thought you were supposed to hear, the meeting planner is saying, we're not interested in what you have to offer. But when you have something to offer, that's when you get the return emails. That's when your pre-selling is going really, really good, because they're reading your messaging, Charlene, before they even talk to you on the phone. And when your messaging is on point, that's when you're going to get the constant back and forth, and eventually it's going to turn into revenue. It's just that simple. See, this is an art and science behind marketing. And I've suffered enough, and you don't have to suffer when you have the kind of higher level mentorship that you're receiving on this platform. Did you have any other questions?
No, that's perfect. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Look forward to talking to you again. Make sure you keep me posted about those couple deals that you're putting together, okay?
Yeah, it's, I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but I've done what you said and I went through the module, but payment before service rendered in England is not a thing. I'm getting pushback from that. It's happened 3 times now. I've mentioned it, but it just doesn't seem to be practiced. And, you know, if it gets to the point where it would be a deal breaker at the end of the day, like I have to say, I just said, okay, but it's the 3rd corporate client that tells me payment is after service rendered.
Okay, well, guess what? I had an issue with one of my clients in Italy who did the same exact thing. What you have to say is, do I have enough cash flow to sustain me? And can I wait the 3 weeks or the 30 days? What is the experience like of me doing that engagement? It's not that you shouldn't take it. See, this is a negotiating point. If you're getting pushback, see, the market's telling you, okay, well, anyway, those 3 clients are telling you, we want to pay you after services are rendered. That's just a negotiating point, Charlene. You're an attorney.
Yeah.
So is it, okay, watch this. Is it worth you waiting for the fee that you're going to be getting? And how long do you have to wait for your revenue?
Yeah, I don't think I mind. It doesn't disrupt my business too much. It's just, I tried and it just, I get pretty much the same answer. So I'm thinking perhaps it's a cultural thing. I don't know. Perhaps it's different in Europe than it is in the US.
Yes, no, it's different per country. I've spoken in over 35 plus different countries. Every last one of them got different rules. I had to decide whether or not I wanted the international experience. I wanted to sit here before you and say that I'm an international speaker. Man, there's some shit that goes along with that. I had to put up with a lot to call myself an international speaker. Money exchange rates, language barriers, workbooks getting translated in different languages. It was stressful. Am I getting compensated in euros, dinas, whatever the currency was? If it was, to me, it was worth it. You know why? Because I wanted to get the international experience. That's why I work with sign language and multicultural hearing impaired interpreters. Is it worth it? If it's worth it, just say, you know what? Okay, it's going to take them 30 days to get me my money. But man, I'm going to be able to see the sunset in Greece and they're paying for it. That was worth it for me. So if it's worth it for you, put the deal together. That's just one negotiating point. You're still going to win You're still going to get the engagement. You're still going to get the experience that goes along with it. You're going to be compensated. And also you're going to get the footage afterwards, whether or not it's on site or whether or not it's virtual. See, you never lose. If they're willing to pay you, you never lose. It's all in how you look at it. And it's all in how you negotiate it and put it together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, then don't get discouraged because it may be in London. It may be that that's just the way they do it in Brussels or wherever it is that you're negotiating. But just keep in mind, you got to be open and you got to be flexible. Those are the people that get the deals negotiated with these companies. You're going to have a lot less resistance when you start doing business with America, and eventually you're going to come there. But it's good to work in your region or geographical area first and then start branching out. America needs you. See, you're going to be exotic. America will handsomely pay you to speak because you got that lovely accent. Please, they'll be on you like white on rice.
I'm exotic to you, KTR. That's cool.
Of course you are. Just look. They call me Michael Jordan in North Africa. I'm Michael Jordan to them in North Africa. Listen, I'm 5'8.5". I have a head full of hair down to my shoulders. When I went to North Africa, I'm exotic. I'm the only American who was on a cruise ship with 2,700 plus foreigners on there. I'm the only person from the United States, and everybody knew it. I was like a superstar. I'm exotic because I'm from a whole nother country. You're going to be exotic when you come to America because you have a lovely accent. On top of that, you're super professional, and you got all of these great keynote speeches, and you're actually eloquent and you're very articulate with your oratorical skills when you speak. That is value and that's leverage. That's what we're teaching you how to do. So when I went to North Africa, I didn't know that they speak Arabic in North Africa. I was in Tunisia, right? So when I went there, I was walking around. I had on this like basketball tank top and some shorts, literally, because I don't know, because I was a person of color, but they just kept calling Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan. They couldn't speak any English, but they knew Michael Jordan. By the time I got back to my ground transportation, I was just like this. They were handing me pieces of paper. I was just signing MJ on everything. I got crazy because I'm exotic. Just because I'm Black, they call me Michael Jordan. I was like, okay, no problem. I am the Michael Jordan of this speaker coaching shit. And and at the height of my speaking career, I was Michael Jordan. Legendary. That's the kind of career that I wanted. And that's what I set out to do. So you're going to learn how to grow your business across the pond. It's going to happen. So don't ever get discouraged. What you're learning how to do is put together these deals one at a time. So every single deal is different. There's different points to negotiate. That's why you have the speaker negotiating menu. That's why you have the pre-programmed questionnaire. That's why you have all these documents you could download on the platform. That's why you have a template for a proposal in case you've got to send one. It's all there. All you got to do is tell me how we need to put together the deal. And every document that you need is on this platform so you can put together the deal. Take it one deal at a time. You got it?
Got it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. See you soon.
See you soon.
Okay. Okay, Anita, talk to me. Anita, are you there? Oops, I still got Charlene. Sorry about that. I got to disable talking. And Anita, boom. I got Anita now. Anita, you there?
Yes. How are you today?
Yeah, Anita Yarborough. Anita, I'm feeling real slim today. That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling real slim.
Well, I'm glad somebody's feeling slim. I'm feeling, well, never mind that. But anyway.
Hey, look, before you said never mind it, but I know what you're saying, because some days I look in the mirror, especially over the last 6 months, and I'm like, man, you're struggling today, bro. I do not feel slim today. But today I feel slim. Some months ago, not so slim.
Yeah, 2 days ago, I felt slim. Today I don't. I looked in the mirror and I was like, what is going on with the mirror? Is it lying?
It's all good. What's your question?
Okay, this might be a question for you or Mr. Austin, but I'm gonna put it forth.
No problem.
Okay, so you, the info kit, the template that you use is in, what is it called? PowerPoint?
Yes. The template for what now? What is it for?
You have your signature programs in PowerPoint. I was wondering, would that affect me being able to upload it if I use a template from, even though PowerPoint is part of Microsoft Office, would it be okay to use a marketing template to put my signature program in Word or Publisher? Would it affect uploading it to the website?
Yeah, well, affect uploading it to your personal website, or mean when you submit a support ticket for review?
Both.
Both. Okay. Well, first of all, Publisher is for documents, or Publisher is good it's good for design. I've used it before. I used to use it a lot, actually, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, before I really got good at PowerPoint. The reason why I like PowerPoint and versus Google Slides doesn't have, you can't manipulate it like you can in PowerPoint. It's just not as finite. And when I get inside of PowerPoint, I like to move things around to the slightest edge, and you can manipulate. You can't do that in Google Slides. So Google Slides is great for the presentation. If you're on the Google platform, I use it. See, the thing about it is I have students that use everything, so I still use everything. I need to understand what's going on with the world of PC in case I need to give you some consultation on it. So I still use a desktop. I use my MacBook Pro every single day. That's Apple. I got an Apple tablet. I got an Android phone. I switched over from Apple to Android because I need to open up multiple windows and I can still run my business. That works for me. So see, I'm not just going to be all Apple all the way across the board just because it's cool. Yeah, I'll get Apple, but I also got some other stuff happening over here. And I'm telling you that I have absolutely mastered designing PowerPoint slides and giving presentations in Microsoft PowerPoint. So I know the difference when I move over. I'm just not going to say Google Slides is better just because it's Google. Yeah, it's great. But from a design standpoint, Google, it can't even touch PowerPoint from a design standpoint with what you can do with it. I can make something I design in PowerPoint look like I use Photoshop. Period. Flyers, brochures, speaker info kit. I've designed all that stuff inside of PowerPoint. That's because I spent tireless and an insane amount of hours in there learning how to do that. But Publisher, you don't need to send me anything in Publisher. You need to be sending it over to us for review. You can send it to us in a PowerPoint, but I'd rather you convert it into a PDF before you send it over there, or you can send the full file if you want to. The file size is just going to be bigger.
Okay.
And when you start loading a bunch of pictures, that's really not good. Send it in Microsoft PowerPoint, send it in Microsoft Word or PDF.
Yeah, because I wasn't really going to use Publisher, but I was looking at PowerPoint, but I didn't like some of the designs, so I went over to Microsoft Word to use some of the designs, and I was going to save it as a PDF once I got ready to submit the final.
That's right.
Because I remember you telling me, because I think I used your PowerPoint design when I first submitted my draft.
Yes.
And I know you advised me to make sure I get my graphic designer to better design my template, or do a better design. I think
because you have some alignment issues. See, if you don't know what you're doing in PowerPoint, you are going to have some alignment issues. Students, listen, the template is there, so you have, again, that's just a baseline. If you don't want to hire a graphic designer or your money's tight, you can always use our template. But I got every little box inside of there, and I gave you the actual master file to my speaker info kit. I have every little box in there set where I want it, and that's the reason why you don't see any alignment issues. If you click inside the box and you look at the font sizes and all of this kind of stuff. Now, if you got time and you understand how to manipulate PowerPoint, and a very few students send it back over where they don't have any alignment issues, and they take the template and they turn it into something else, and they said, okay, great. They took my information out, put theirs in, they send it over, and I'm like, okay, great. If I don't see anything that looks disturbing to the eye, then I'll approve it. If you send it over and it has alignment issues, I'm going to tell you, because you don't know how to manipulate it the way I do, then you need to get a graphic designer on it so it looks professional. You don't want to send it to the marketplace if it messes with my eyes. If it messes with my eyes, what do you think it's going to do to the meeting planner? There's no way I'm going to let you go to market looking like that. So that's why I give you the advice that I do. Okay. But remember, you should be rendering all your documents out in a PDF format. The only document on the platform that you should be sending out in a Word document is the pre-programmed questionnaire, because you want them to download it and go in there and fill it out. And they need to be in editing mode to fill it out. You can't edit in PDF format. All your other documents on your website should be in a PDF format, because you don't want people accessing your master files, not downloading them from your website. There's no need for them to do that.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes, got it.
Okay, any other questions?
Nope, that'll be it. Thank you.
Okay, listen, keep rocking. I'm looking forward to seeing some more support tickets and seeing your information with the updates that you have.
Yeah, I'm working on both the demo and the signature program template design. So I got my pictures, I got my my logo. I'm just putting everything in place now. I'm just putting it all together so I can submit it.
Cool. Branding. Remember, you are the brand and your brand is you. Great job, Anita. Talk to you real soon.
Okay.
All right. Alex, what's going on, boss?
Hey, KTR.
Lisa, you're in the queue next. I'll be right with you. Thank you for your patience. Hey, Alex.
Hi. Okay, so two things. One is, because it hasn't been really talked about, but I think it's important to be talked about because it's in the modules in the program.
Yes, sir.
So right now I'm doing Trevor's media tour. So, you know, right now his big thing is on like kids and stuff like that. And like this month is like bullying prevention month. So we're getting tons of bookings for that right now. But I also want to tell everybody, like, this is your chance to like, this is your performance. So basically you put Trevor on these shows like, oh my gosh, this is great, you know, and then usually towards the end of that interview, they'll be like, oh, where can we learn more about you? And then that's when he says like, oh, just check me out at trevorromain.com. And then what happens? Traffic goes way up. So
thank you.
One of those things.
Yes.
To do that. So.
Yes, hold on. I want you to pause right there for a second, Alex. And I appreciate you sharing that. Again, this is important to know. This is a great point that Alex is making. Remember, I mentioned before that if you have a PR person, and Alex is skilled in this area that he's talking about right now. He understands how to connect with the media. He used to work for Oprah, right? He understands digital marketing. He has a very unique skill set. That's why he works at Trevor Romain Company, and that's why he can do the things he's doing right now. So if you're not the PR that he's generating for Trevor, or the interviews that he's getting, hear what he said. He said the engagement goes up and the traffic goes up after Trevor does the interview. See, but he has a back-end system set up to facilitate that traffic. Most speakers don't. So they go on, they think, okay, I'm gonna go online and I'm gonna sell some books. And when my book was in print and I would do a local interview or something, I would sell 150 books after I did an interview. Wasn't a lot of speaking engagements coming from it, but I will move product. I could see the phone was blowing up. People were trying to get the book. They would go to the website. You can track all this data in his analytics. And believe me, Alex can see that coming because he has a plan. He's getting the media exposure. When they start asking him questions, okay, Trevor, how can we get in contact with you? All the work that Alex and Trevor and Woody have done up to this point, they have got the back end built out to the speaker business so they can facilitate business and transactions. Now, Alex, tell me where it goes from here and why'd you bring that point up?
Well, I brought that point up because usually, you know, speakers, they go on and all they're focusing on is selling their book or selling their service or whatever it is. And it's a massive turnoff for press, like executive producers to the anchors, or if you're speaking, like if you're, I don't know, if you're flying into a city, you know, and you're trying to contact the local press there to say like, hey, I'm keynoting at this event. I would love to talk about it. You know, these 5 tips on whatever. And usually they'll pick it up. But as soon as you mention that you're going to be like, oh, can I mention this product or this thing and stuff like that?
Crickets.
It's crickets. You know, my advice is let them tell you, you know, like if they ask you, hey, you have product or service you want to share, then that's your opportunity to share it. But if not, don't push it beforehand. So.
Yeah, great point. Great point. That's also another great way to interject this as well. And I learned this when I got my first interview on Fox 5, local in DC. You got to understand something, that now a good friend of mine for a long time, Micheline Bowman, she worked the Fox 5 news desk as the talent coordinator for over 25 years. And Micheline, any celebrity or any best-selling author, Micheline, the call had to come through Micheline's desk so she could book them. She moved on. She does PR and a bunch of other stuff right now. So you got little people that's just starting out, and everybody that writes a book think that they're going to call Micheline, hey, I want to get an interview on Fox 5. Now, again, you're in broke, begging, and desperation mode. I've been there before. Like Alex said, the more you push that you want to get on there so you can talk to people about your book, they get 100 calls like that a day, literally. You're wasting your time. What these producers want. Now, I used to run ads in something called Radio TV Interview Report. This is one of the biggest publications used by over 4,000 television producers all across the world. Now, you run an ad in Radio TV Interview Report, and then you'd be in you could be in a registry of subject matter experts. They got all these particular registries and guides, and it's like an industry book that's like this thick. And the producers go there to get the subject matter experts. So, but the only way they want to book you is the same premise why the meeting planner wants to hire you, is because Trevor's, watch this, he's doing all this press doing bullying month. Well, what is the producer looking for? They're looking for an anti-bullying campaign. They don't want a speaker. They want a subject matter expert. So Alex provides it for them. They want a leading authority. So Alex provides it for them. They want a trusted advisor. Alex has that too. He has a specialist. He's got that as well. That's what they want. These producers for radio, television, blogs, podcasts, all of it. You have got to come on as the subject matter expert and give their audience value, or they have absolutely no use for you whatsoever. See, this is the reason why Alex is one of the most successful people on our platform. And you want to know why he still shows up every single week and act like he don't know nothing, because he's getting better and better and better on top of the good that he already is right now. So Alex, go to the next point that you want to make. So now the buzz is happening around Trevor, obviously, because it's anti-bullying month along with breast cancer awareness month. So how are you leveraging all of that traffic? Talk to me about that.
Well, it goes to the website and it's just information. So, there's stuff on the blog, we're working on blogs right now in regards to this, because people keep calling us about it all the time. And then usually, we also understand right now, like with teachers and parents are completely stressed out, and there's also cyberbullying going on, but that's no increase. So we're really focusing on that subject matter. And then usually, we try to pick different times of day. So usually evenings, executives are usually off work and stuff. So we try to use that time to be like, okay, that's when they usually come and watch it. And then that's when they start calling us about, hey, we're doing this event coming up. And then that's when they start calling, and then they go straight into our funnel of booking and going through the Calendly thing. And, that's when the discussions start happening. That's exactly what happened to the Australia booking that I mentioned in the chat about, regards to payments. I think Charlene brought that up.
Yes.
And being flexible. They saw the article on Twitter or something, and they looked at it, they clicked on it. They're like, oh, okay. And then they went through the funnel. They went through it, and then they told us about, we had to be flexible with their pricing because it's in Australian dollars and not US dollars.
Yep.
So that's basically how the process went through. And then they asked us like, okay, how do we get more details? And that's when I sent them the questionnaire. They filled out the questionnaire, then they paid, and then they went through the other logistics stuff with the AV and all that kind of stuff too. Yep. So that's kind of like the process of how press could generate a lead generation for your speaking business. But also the other side is the credibility too. So, Trevor's been on, Washington Post and Fox and CBS and all the other ones too. So the BBC. Mm-hmm. So, building that credibility, because that also goes in there too, especially if you're talking to major speaking audiences. They also want to know that you're the you know, you're the expert in those areas too, especially when, you know, the press picks you up for, like you said, like the subject matter or the expert in that area.
Yeah.
The second point I had was more regards about this community. So what's happening when I'm getting on the phone, people hear my accent and they're like, oh, can we book you as well? And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to book Trevor, you know.
Right.
Some one of those things is like, now they're trying to book me, but I'm not in the place to be speaking right now, even though I should be. I said yes to a couple of them, but the rest I said no.
Right.
But this is one of those opportunities, like, I wonder if there's a portal. This might be something for Austin too, is like to put something on there to be like, who's speak on what, like if it's like leadership or if it's on mental health or if it's on health in general or something, just so I can be like, okay, I can't do it, but I know somebody who can, you know.
Oh, like a referral based,
like a referral
within the
based
platform.
right.
Yeah, within the platform. Yeah. Well, you know, Austin and I talked about it, you know, about, you know, having a, you know, being a cineplex of, you know, the meeting ground for the conference coordinator and also the speaker.
Right.
And you know, we've toyed with ideas of being a speakers bureau, but obviously that's very time consuming to put that together. But
Yeah.
a referral to a mental health speaker that's on our platform. We have plenty of them, health and fitness and wellness experts. That's the reason why, you know, Austin created the integration where you can all chat with each other right there on the platform. So perhaps if somebody has one, maybe it could be you could put a post up in school on through the private coaching group. And then if there is a speaking opportunity, then you could put it up there, or you could send us a support ticket to say, hey, you know, because listen, I know what all of you speak about.
Right.
And I know what every subject matter, thousands of them we got on our platform. I know what every last one of them does, and I know what they're good at. I know who has sales tools, who's ready to go to market, who's horrible, who's dragging their ass, who's doing the work. See what you said was real key. Hold on, Alex, put something in here, because Alex, we can do that. That's not a problem. I mean, we have you. If you make the request, if you don't have time to do it, or you're not in the position to do it, if you want to say, hey, they're looking for a mental health speaker, I would go to my top 5 or 10 mental health professionals that we have on our platform who have done the work, who are ready to go to market, who are super professional, and who can handle that speaking engagement.
Okay.
Some speakers can't handle the speaking engagement because they're not set up to do it. They may be able to talk, but they don't have the infrastructure built out the right way. And this is why I stay on everybody's ass to do the work. Come on, Alex. Alex, you did say something, because you never know when these speaking opportunities are going to.
Yeah, they'll just pop up. Like I needed one like last week, and then I had to find like another. Luckily, I had a friend of mine who was ready to go. But that's the thing. If you're ready to go and you got your stuff together, I can be like, hey, okay, great. I need someone to speak in 2 weeks. He can fly out. He's comfortable of doing virtual. You know, this is the fee. You know, this is the dates. Your contact person, so and so. So it's kind of like, yeah, I think I brought it up. Sorry, people. That's one of the speaking coordinators who are messaging me right now, saying like,
it's all good. Get your money, Alex. Get your money.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I brought it up. Yeah, making sure your speaker toolkit is finished completely. That's the other thing too. Completely is the big one right there. Because there's other in the past I referred other people and their stuff was not ready and they were disappointed. So that hurts your reputation. So that's FYI, if you're referring other people, just make sure the people that you're referring to are, you know, high caliber and ready to go, and
absolutely
around. So
yeah, because yeah, no, it's all good. Because did you have any other questions, Alan?
No, that was it.
Or comments? Yeah, listen, your insights are always valuable. We really appreciate. I mean, you know, the chat box always blows up whenever you get in there and you start sharing your insights, because then he has a real good point. Like, so, you know, if your sales tools aren't built out the right way, see, everybody wants to go and just start grabbing the money. Everybody's going for the quick money grab. This is not a get rich quick business. You can start booking speaking engagements in a relatively short period of time. There's plenty of people on our platform to do it. You know, it doesn't need to take a year. It can be a matter of months, like it is with the results like Alex is getting with the Trevor Romaine Company and many other people on our platform. You know, so I will tell you this, is that if the infrastructure isn't built out the right way, then you're going to be struggling on the back end, because then you can't get any referrals. And you're also not going to be attracting anybody to your brand. But when you have the infrastructure built out, see, and you start getting in the marketplace, and you're going to be collecting that data every single day, and then you're going to be booking speaking engagements, and you got to be open and flexible. Every meeting planner is different, so the rewards will last you a lifetime if you just build it out the right way. And that's the reason why you get real results on this platform, and you hear it in real time on the Monday group call of people getting results every single week. You will get your opportunity where you're going to make money, but you got to focus on one thing at a time. Don't be focusing on the money, because when you do that, you're not going to get it. Focus on the shit that I'm asking you to do and get that done first. Build your messaging out the right way first. You should be submitting support tickets like crazy and get your messaging tight. Once your messaging is tight, move on to the sales tools. Make sure everything as far as your marketing and branding is tight. And then making sure your business is set up the right way, making sure you're doing the right kind of post on social media, and then get into module 5 and get the automation set up, and then start doing your outreach. Once you start doing your outreach, listen to the market, negotiate, listen to what Alex said. The first thing he did was needs assessment. He doesn't go in all hot asking for the engagement. That is the first way to turn the conference coordinator off. I specifically have that in the script. Do not go in there as the speaker. Go in there as the coach or the consultant. You are looking to help them solve problems. And then your professional speaking services are going to remedy the pain that they're in. Everybody's hurting. That's why this business is going to be so important for professional speakers in the next decade, because the training industry has exploded, and these corporations, they don't want you, they need you. And especially for these specialty fields, like what Trevor specializes in, which is anti-bullying, helping kids with their self-esteem, through the art of storytelling. This isn't going anywhere anytime soon. You people better understand, you should keep your head down and be building your speaker business, because I'm telling you right now, this is the biggest wealth shift in the speaking industry that I've ever seen in my 35 years. And the reason why is because the connectivity with the automation. The tighter your automation is, the more money you're going to make in this industry. Because now you literally going to have this shit on autopilot one day. Just like when you hear Alex start talking, listen to the way he talks about his speaker business. Listen to the way he talks about how he puts it together. All he did was follow the system. There's so many of you in here lack patience, and you're looking at too much TV, and you're having too much fun. Fuck fun. Sacrificing is not fun. Alex been in pain to put this shit together. It wasn't easy. And he missed that.
Oh yeah, I put my support tickets, and even like this past week, I put 3 in 1 for Austin and KTR, and it's more about the wording, because yeah, a lot of it, yeah, it's a lot, but yeah, it's worth it for me. And like my end goal is basically, okay, I get to travel with Trevor at the speaking engagement. I've heard his speech and stuff all the freaking time, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go hang out at the beach while you do your talking, and then by the end of your talk, I come back and I have a little booth at the back, and he's selling his books and stuff. So
exactly. And watch this. That's another part of the speaking game, is that remember to tell him, as soon as he comes off the platform and he finishes speaking, go right over to the autograph table, because you're looking at capturing anywhere from 10 to 20%. We call it BOR, which is back of the room sales.
Yeah.
So he can look on capturing, you have 100 people in the room, you can look on capturing 10 to 20. If he's really, really good, you could do 30, 40% in sales. It just all depends. He should have one person at the table, you taking the money, he signing autographs, signing books, kissing babies, taking pictures. That's what he should be doing. But tell him to go over there as soon as he comes off the platform, while everybody's excited. He should walk directly over to the autograph table, and where the books and the display table is set up.
No.
One person takes the money. They have people sign up for the mailing list. Follow Trevor on social media. He should also do that when he's on the platform as well, so he can get his following base built up. And then he signs the books, takes the pictures, shakes the hands, and then you get all of the other people who will be interested in booking him to speak, because you got to weed out all the imposters, all the people that want to shake your hand, come talk to you because you got They think you got a sexy British accent. All the other people who want to waste their time, they want to take pictures. All the women that want to get close to them. You got to weed out all that bullshit and get to the 5 to 10 people who want to book him to speak at another conference. Get that contact information and ask them, are they the, because let me tell you something, it ain't nothing more powerful than getting seen at a speaking engagement. The fastest way to get booked to speaking engagement is to be seen at a speaking engagement. You talk, especially when you speak at conferences and you start traveling internationally, you got people from all over the world coming to the conference. And that's how I was able to blow my speaker business up. They kept seeing me at the International Association of Venue Managers Conference. They kept seeing me at the Verizon conference. They kept seeing me at the Bank of America conference. Oh shit, we need you to come back to our office. Okay, we can do that as well, as long as you got a check.
Yeah, that was the last point I was going to bring up too. Is like if you're really good, like you're, especially on module 1, it talks about, the speaking, mannerisms and all that kind of stuff. If they're really good, then they'll book you again. That's exactly what happened to the Australia one. He was so good, and then we negotiated the price. They had to do a little bit lower, but they actually bought so much inventory of our products, and then we shipped them to them. And then they booked him again for 2022. So, that's another thing that could happen. They just like you so much, and then they'll just keep booking you again. And then you just have that as a constant thing. All you have to do is keep the relationship positive and going.
Yeah.
That's also really key, because if you say like, okay, great, and then you ghost them, then you just lost your next speaking fee. So
exactly. And another example of what Alex is talking about, on the speakerfocus.com platform, we call that block bookings. If they're interested in paying, excuse me, if they're interested in paying it in full on the company credit card, you can give them a 5 or 10% discount. I'd much rather I'll knock off $5,000 off my keynote at 50, take 45 cash up front if you put it on the company credit card, then them send me 25 up front and get the other 25 3 months down the line. See, there's all kinds of ways to do it. Another way, of which what Alex was just talking about, was making sure that that you're open and flexible to negotiate these deals. Okay, if I take less on the first speaking engagement, but you buy $3,000 worth of inventory for books, or the home study course, or the shrink wrap package for $197. If you buy that for everybody at the conference, that's a great way to offset the cost. That's why you got to get you some product. See, this is where, in the beginning of building your speaker brand, writing a book or a home study course doesn't matter. But when you get into the marketplace and you become bigger, like Trevor has a brand, he has a huge brand. So now he has an offering when you actually get to the speaking engagement. But remember, there's 3 budgets, and Alex is tapping into all 3 of these. The first budget is for the speaker fee. The second budget, and I talk about this right there inside of module 2 in the videos, the second budget is the actual expenses. So if it's a travel involved and Alex is traveling along with them, which that's not unusual, when you get on that level, you always take the assistant or somebody with you to watch your back. I won't go out the country by myself. That's just a rule that I have. So it's travel and airfare, hotel accommodations for 2. Okay, sometimes it's 3. It depends on the entourage and how bad they want you. Then it's going to be the third part of the budget is going to be for a nonstop learning and continuous education budget. That's where they have that money. They will give you a separate check or separate budget, excuse me, to purchase your books, home study course, any licensing that you want to do, any programs that you have on the back end. Maybe they want to do a coaching program. Maybe they want to book you to speak, but then they want to bring you in as a coach for their executive team. It's all kinds of ways that you can make money on the back end of this business. And then Alex, you can turn that. He turned it into a block booking. He took less on the first gig, which you're going to be able to get so much more value, pictures, the video, all the content. He sold books. And then on top of that, he said, okay, I'll do all of that, but can you get them on the calendar for 2022? And I'll give you, if you book it right now, I'll give you an additional discount if you book it another year from now. This is how you can have money coming in all kinds of ways for your speaker business. And this is why I get so excited because when I teach you these strategies and then you go out there and use them, as you can see, they work. Alex is using every single thing. And then he's using the marketing that he is experienced in. He's taking the brand that he knows that Trevor got a chance to build, and he's integrating his brand into the strategy. And that's the reason why you see him having the success that he's having. Alex, you got anything else you want to add?
No, the only thing I was going to add is that about block booking, because I sent you that script for that one. So I'll keep you posted on that one in regards to that, because that's a pretty big block booking because it's like 5 cities.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll keep you posted with that team.
Where you guys starting in Melbourne? You starting in what part? Gold Coast?
Okay, so the Australia one is just 1 city right now.
Okay.
But there's another one in another city because I have extended family there, so they'll let me know about that one.
Okay.
The other one was the one I sent the support ticket with about Orlando, Atlanta, New York, and Vegas.
Oh, those were the one in the States. You did tell me about that. Exactly.
Yeah,
like
that's
5
the
other
one
tour days. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I need to those.
Oh, Alice, before I let you go, real quick question. And Lisa, I'll be right with you. Thank you for your patience. Keith Copeland, I'll be right with you right after I finish with Alice. Alice, I did want to ask you a question because I found it interesting that you sent me over the email. What did you think about the way I modified the language in there for the email that you were going to send on the follow-up?
I thought your email was very it was more subtle because I thought mine was more forward, and I thought yours was more invitational to allow them to get the feedback. I haven't heard nothing yet, but I'll do a follow-up tomorrow.
Okay, did you send it to him?
I did. I sent it.
Okay, cool.
You approved it. Yeah.
Cool. Remember, and the only reason why I modified the language like that is because you gave me the characteristics of the deal. Every deal that you put together in your speaking career, it has different characteristics. The money may fluctuate a little bit, but the characteristics of the deal is going to be the company and their unique situation of what they need from you and the service that you can deliver to them.
Right.
Another thing is going to be the individual personality type you're dealing with. I talk about the mechanics of communication. That comes from KTR's system of communication that I teach you right there inside of module number 1. On the back end of module 1, we talk about the technical aspects of speaking. Do you have is it a thinker, relator, director, or socializer? Because there's a different way to sell to thinkers. Thinkers need detail. Relators, use your charm, your British accent, warm appeal. Directors, be very, very straightforward with them. Don't be bullshitting at all. Get down to the bottom line. And then with socializers, a smile is always going to win at the end of the day. You got to be very jovial with them. They like you to keep it lighthearted with them before you start just jumping in talking about the business. What generation are they from? Are they Generation X? Are they baby boomers? Is it a millennial sitting on the board? You got to know how to connect with all these people and go right to what's going to please them. Not only service the need, but you got to keep people happy. You got to keep them engaged. Different generations. What generation are they from? And definitely what kind of gender are you talking to? Remember, you do not have the communication advantage with the same sex. You do, however, have it with the opposite sex. How do you control the conversation? How do you control the sales cycle? You control it through pitch, resonance, height, accuracy, cadence, vocal dynamics. Listen, when I'm selling to a woman, she simply doesn't have the skill set or she doesn't stand a chance. It's just that simple. I'm too good at what it is that I do. Now, when I'm selling to a man, I got to take the ego out of it. I can't be trying to go mano a mano when you're selling to a man. Ladies, if you're selling to another woman, you better back off of something. You better take the edge off of your voice. Let them see when the person recognizes the value. Alex, if it's a woman that you're selling to, with your level of skill, your level of understanding, especially after this training, they simply can't compete with the way you're able to communicate his brand. You have to maintain control. That gives you what? Leverage. Because when you don't have that, you're not going to make no money. Am I making sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. If you're dealing with a conference coordinator who's a male, which is a very low number of men who are conference coordinators, women dominate the meeting planner industry. You all better understand that. 93% of people that book me to speak out of 2,700 plus paid speaking engagements over a 35-year career have been women. Why do you think I wear the color and I dress the way I do? It's all psychological. And when you understand that, what your brand is and how your brand fits into the marketplace. See, Alex, what Alex is learning is where the market is speaking to Trevor, and they love him. And he's taking it and saying, okay, that worked, this worked, that didn't work, let's change that. Okay, I got to submit a support ticket over here. As you can see, Alex, it's all beneficial. See, I've been through it so much, thousands and thousands of times. That's why when you sent me the email, I modified the verbiage based upon the market that you told me. And I also based upon the cities that you're going into. You're talking about Chi-Town, Vegas, New York, LA. Those markets are totally different. You're letting the meeting planner know we have experience with working with all these different markets, and the market is shifting and we know how to handle that. We would love to be in partnership with you. That's the kind of language that you send over, Alice. So keep me posted. Let me know about that email, okay?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, boss.
You're very welcome, man. Outstanding job as always. Man, I got nothing but love for people that bust their ass and work hard. I mean, there's nothing else that I can say. Hey, listen, I don't give A's when you F is for fucking up. I don't give A pluses when you're doing that. If you're not doing the work, I'm going to tell you you're not doing the work. Let me put Alex, let me disable to talk for Alex, Lisa Allman Baldwin. Thank you so much for your patience.
No problem. Everything is of value to me, so I don't feel like, you know, you're putting me on hold and making me wait.
Yeah, well, you know, I understand that, but you know, it's my mom raised a gentleman, so I always like to let people know I acknowledge them, and we got to keep the engagement high, and we definitely appreciate you showing up. Lisa, where are you now? What exactly?
I'm in Quito, Ecuador. It's the capital of Ecuador.
Ecuador, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So it's my first time in South America, and I love it. So I'll be here till December.
Okay, so the area where you are, what's the native language there?
Spanish.
Spanish, yeah. So this is why I'm learning Spanish at the top of the year, and I already have a system in place for me to be able to learn conversational Spanish, and I should be speaking it pretty fluently because I've been getting a lot of requests over the years, especially that they want me to open up in South America. My workbooks have been translated in over 35 different languages, but when you actually can speak it, it just opens up a whole another different market. I know some of my colleagues, they speak 7 different languages. And when you're able to speak their language, you can start going into those countries and you can crush it just like you do in the United States. There's so much to this business. But Lisa, what's your question?
Yeah. So I speak fluent Spanish. I have for years and years. And
look at you.
So I'm happy as a clam. I haven't spoken hardly any English in the past week. So
nice.
I love it.
Nice. I love it.
I had one set of props for you, and then I had 3 different questions. So I was approached by someone. This wasn't for speaking, but it was for a writing project in travel area, which I'm totally familiar with. And they asked me to send them some ideas based on the topic they wanted me to write about, and to send them an estimate of what it might cost depending on the word count and all that. And in the back of my head, when I was working on it, I kept hearing from when you said, if you don't ask, you're not going to get. If you don't ask, you're not going to get. Don't ask that. So I thought, okay. And so I thought about it more. And, you know, sometimes with travel writing, there's kind of I don't want to say there's a standard fee, but there is kind of after 30 years, I kind of know what it is. But anyway, I thought, you know what, I think I'm worth more than that. And they came to me, right? So anyway, I put what I thought was fair and a little bit over that. They didn't even question it. They said, okay, and by the way, can you take credit cards? Because we'll pay you all up front.
Thank you.
So it's just exactly what you said. If it didn't hurt to ask. And I didn't have anything in my head of, well, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I just thought I'd ask. And they said, okay. They didn't even blink.
Of course they didn't. You know why? Because they know that you're capable of delivering. And that's what happens to clients. Remember, Lisa, when clients say, well, Lisa, we need you to do it for less. Okay, well, there are circumstances when you can do it for less and be accommodating. It has to work for their budget, but it has to be fair for you. And when it's not fair, you have to simply walk away. Because whenever somebody says something to me, when they say, well, there are coaching programs out there where yours is too much money. You got a high ticket coaching program, it's too much money. I said, well, you may not want to pay, but I have plenty of clients that do. That's why I run a multi-million-dollar sales funnel, and you don't. See, right. And you can't even hesitate to say that. remember, Lisa, you are a specialist.
Right.
You are a subject matter expert, a leading authority, and a trusted advisor. And that's what those people get paid.
Right.
Have my money, learn to love it and deal with it, or simply move on and hire pay less, but you're going to get less quality. And you're definitely not going to get those beautiful word sequences that you're gifted at being able to put together. And if you want to take your chances on that, by all means, go do it.
Right. Right. Yeah. And not only that, they had asked me, based on the theme they wanted me to write about, they asked me, to send them a few ideas. And I sent 7 or 8 thinking, they might pick 2 or 3. They picked all 8.
That's because you're one of the most gifted writers I've ever seen in my life. Hey, listen, if anybody asks me, Lisa, KTR, you have all these skills, right? You have all these talents. If you left me with one, if they say you can't have any of them except for one, it's the ability to write great copy.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you right now, that skill alone will put millions of dollars in the bank for you when you play your cards right. So I'm happy about that. You should be happy, so happy that you realize what your value is. That was a little cloudy before you came into the coaching program, but I'm so happy that you know it and you're not afraid to ask for it, because that's a big step in asking for the higher fees and speaking as well.
Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to thank you for that, because I really appreciated that.
You're welcome.
Okay. So you remember this is my first question. You remember the bank proposal that I sent over to you?
Yes.
And then you sent it back, and I sent it to them. I had the first strategy session with her. We set a follow-up strategy session. And on the follow-up strategy session, she said, I'm really sorry, but things have gone crazy here, and I need to push this off until October. But I apologize. I didn't, so I asked her, what did you think of the materials? I sent all that stuff. She said, I really apologize. I haven't even had a chance to look. I did look at your proposal, and I saw the $7,500, but we did set up another follow-up session, which is this Wednesday.
Okay.
So what I wanted to know is, well, one thing, I was happy that she didn't say, well, I took a fast look and saw the $7,500 and said, we can't do it.
She got sticker shock, right? Yeah.
Yeah. She just, she just said, I really apologize, but things have just been crazy. So what I wanted to know is, when I talked to her this Wednesday, which in essence will be the second, the follow-up strategy session, is there anything else I should add to the discussion, or just go through the same questions you gave us as, like before? I'm assuming on Wednesday she will actually have the time to talk to me, and that she actually had the time to look at it, because it's been 2 weeks since, the one we had before, and she said she couldn't do anything.
Exactly. So you need to send her a message prior to your next call, days before. Hey, let's say her name is Ms. Johnson. Hey, Ms. Johnson, did you get the opportunity to look at the follow-up information? It's really important to me that you consume that content before our next call, so we can make sure we're both prepared on both sides. You make sure we're prepared. Okay. You're just letting her know, however you want to word it. You're just letting her know, listen, part of the accountability to make sure that the offering is something that's going to be a good fit, it's important that you look at that information prior to the call. Now, when she says, hey, Lisa, I already checked it out, again, she doesn't appear to have a problem with the pricing at $7,500 for the half-day program for 2 to 4 hours. And the reason why is because you send it to somebody who is not afraid of that price, not to say that they're going to come down on it, but believe me, if they didn't want to pay it, or it was out of the ballpark, they would just told you straight up, hey, this is way out of our budget. We don't have that. Clearly, we can't afford it. That's what happens when you get sticker shock. So,
and that's what I assumed, that wasn't the case, because, otherwise she could have said that right then when I talked to her for that 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't like the word assumption.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're talking about. Never make assumptions in business. You have facts that you're dealing with right now. You have the fact that she replied to you, and she did not say that she could not pay the budget.
Yeah.
Okay. She didn't give you any resistance on that. She did apologize for not being available. She did reschedule another call with you. You do have the follow-up call. So let's get into a role play, Lisa, if you want. Let me tell you how to manage the follow-up call. You want to do it?
Okay.
You want to role play?
Yeah, yeah, sure. And just to let you know, I'm having a little bit of internet lag here, so don't think I
got it.
disappeared. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
no problem. So now your role is this. So I'll tell you how to walk through the next call with her,
Mhm.
because first of all, she's already interested.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Does she have a date to offer you on your calendar? Have you got that far yet?
When I talked to her on the very first strategy call, she thought that she wanted, because it's going to be, if you recall, she wanted to do 3. What I proposed to her was doing, because it's going to be virtual, doing an hour, 3 different weeks, because she said that her particular group, they have short attention spans. About 45 minutes is all they can take.
Okay.
So
no
when I
problem.
originally talked to her, it was like beginning of September, and she was thinking October. So when I had the follow-up call, which was the end of, the middle of September, that's when she said, things are so crazy here. So I was thinking, we wouldn't start doing anything until October, but we hadn't talked about date yet, because on that
Right.
second follow-up, I only talked to her for about 10 minutes, and that's when she was apologizing about not really having looked at it. And so our real follow-up is this Wednesday.
Okay, so now remember on that. So remember how you know a speaking engagement is real, or how things are warming up. Number 1, do you have a date on the calendar to offer me? Number 2, do you have a venue? The venue is going to be virtual, so you got 2 or 3. And number 3, is there a budget? You send her over the fees, so she clearly knows what the fees are for the half-day program. If you're doing 2 to 4 hours, or you're doing 45-minute sessions, is $15,000 worth of business, because you're only charging $5,000. If that's what your fees are. So now you have 2 or 3 of them. You didn't get a pushback on the budget. It is going to be a virtual event. You just need to decide on a date. So now you got ammunition coming in. What you should do first, number 1, is make sure that she is going to look at that. Make her understand the importance of being prepared for the follow-up session.
Okay.
So you're not wasting time. You're still in the process of seeing whether or not this is a good fit, but this deal is looking good. See, this is how you have to think when you're a speaker. You have to put together a deal. Right now, you got 2 of the categories checked off. For 1, to let you know that this lady's serious. She's communicative. She's responding to your email. You're in the game. So the first thing you're going to do on the follow-up is, hey, Ms. Johnson, on the follow-up, watch this. Lisa, I want you to role play with me.
Okay.
Phone rings, Ms. Johnson picks up. Let's just call it the National Institute of Leadership.
Okay.
So phone rings, say Ms. Johnson, National Institute of Leadership. We're going to go into the role play.
Okay. This is Ms. Johnson, National Institute of Leadership. May I help you?
Hey, Ms. Johnson, Kevin T. Robertson here from speakerfocus.com. Hey, wanted to, start our session off with asking you the first question is, did you get the opportunity to look at the demonstration video and consume the marketing materials that I sent you?
Okay, so I'm doing this with her on the phone or by email? Ahead of Wednesday.
No, this is how you're going to get into the follow-up call. This is exactly your approach in the follow-up call. First thing you're going to ask her is,
okay,
did you look at the follow-up materials that I sent you? And I want to get your opinion about that first. You have to control the pace of the sales cycle. You have to
right, okay, so maybe I misunderstood you, because I thought at first you said that, okay, so our follow-up is on Wednesday, so I thought you were saying I need to send her a message now saying, I just want you to be prepared for our session on Wednesday. Make sure okay, but am I doing this by email, or I'm doing it by phone?
No, you're doing that by email. You're just going to send her an email.
Yeah.
Want to go, listen, if you don't set up systems of accountability, they are going to blow you off like you don't matter.
Right. Okay.
The reason why you need her looking at all of this, because this is called pre-selling.
Mm-hmm.
If she goes to the website, if she downloads your speaker info kit, if she looks at the speaker video demo, that is helping her answer questions. And she's not going to have all those questions by the time you get her on the phone.
Got it. Okay.
So the first question, Ms. Johnson, I know things have been hectic for you. Did you get the opportunity to look at the follow-up the sales materials? And if you did, what's your opinion? See, this is how you know she's not gonna be bullshitting you. Because the first thing I'm gonna ask you is, just like I do on the strat, Lisa, what's the first question I ask you? Lisa, did you get a chance to look at the speaker focus demonstration video, and what were your thoughts?
Right.
Yep, Kevin, I sure did look at it, because I told you don't show up on the follow-up call without looking at it, because you're wasting my time. Was I clear about that?
Yes, you were.
Okay, so you're going to be clear to her the same exact way. We don't have to be mean. You have a lot of charm and you're very warm. Extend her that, but let her know. Okay, I want to know your thoughts on the follow-up. Oh yeah, Lisa, I did look at the video. I did look at the this. Okay, great. All right, now this is the next stage of the role play. Ms. Johnson, what I wanted to talk to you about on the call where you couldn't make it last week, but you're here now. What I want to talk to you about is we seem to be moving in a direction where it sounds like I'm a good fit for you, and it sounds like you're the kind of client that I like to service. But I got a couple more questions that I want to ask you to see if we could, get this thing finalized. Okay, so the next question is going to be, do you have a particular date that you're thinking about where you may want to make this happen? And you're going to go down 3 categories, Lisa. Number 1 is a date. If she says, yeah, Lisa, are you thinking about doing this 2021? Or is this something you're going to roll into 2022? Don't let her answer anything else except for that. Are we doing this? Are you thinking about what's good for your company? Are you thinking about this year to get this training done? Or you think about 2022? Now, to me, in everything you've sent me so far, it feels like she wants to do it this year.
Yeah, she said she was thinking of doing it in October.
Okay,
so we're here in October.
So watch this. We're at the beginning of October right now. Now, okay, if you're doing it in October, what is the specific date? Because I need to look at my calendar to see what my availability is. Now, what all of you need to understand, let me just interject this in here. Meeting planners are putting together conferences and meetings at the last minute. This is a growing trend. You don't have to wait 6 months or a year. If they want Lisa bad enough, they're going to go to a date on their calendar and say, you know what, Lisa, I think we just had our Q4 meeting, and what looks good for us is, now, Lisa, if you don't have a lot going on, if you can move some stuff around, if you see the dates on your calendar, you can say, okay, we're thinking about the 16th through the 19th. We're thinking about doing 3 days, 16th through the 19th, 45-minute sessions every day. Can you do that, Lisa? It's either yes or no.
Right.
Let them know you're available or you're not available. Perhaps she'd be willing to work with you with some flexibility. And I've had this, if they want you bad enough, they'll say, you know what, when are you available in October? Give her your availability, and they will customize something around your availability if they want it bad enough. If you can fit their calendar, that's cool as well. All right, now, second stage is after you talk about the date, say, okay, now, Ms. Johnson, let's talk about the budget for my services. I sent you over, yeah, Lisa, I did see that to $7,500. Watch this, Lisa. Is that something that's in your budget to afford to do this event, to bring me in to speak? Direct question.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Okay.
Don't entertain her dancing around. Well, Lisa, listen, it's either yes or no. If it's a yes, okay. The next question out of your mouth is, so what's your purchase order process look like? What does it take for you to submit a purchase order? What's the turnaround time on that? Because I require a 50% deposit to take the date off the calendar. We got to get that done first, because my schedule is very volatile. And Lisa, you're not lying. It is. You're in Ecuador this week. Damn, you could be in Florida next week, in Sarasota, and your ass could be somewhere else the following week. I need to know. Don't play with my time. Okay, so you're getting her to answer the questions. You're qualifying her as a prospect. And then as soon as she answers that, she's gonna say, yeah, Lisa, the budget's fine. Lisa, could are you hard set on that $7,500? Could you do all 3 dates for $7,500? Well, That's not my fees, Ms. Johnson. If that's what you're asking me for, you're asking me for 3 separate 45-minute sessions. That's typically $5,000 for 1 hour or any portion of 1 hour.
Well, actually, on this particular one, and the one that I sent you ahead of time, that's 7,500 is for the 3 sessions. That's what I
That's
proposed.
what, okay. Okay, that's for the 3. Okay, I'm glad you told me that, and that's cool too.
Yeah.
Again,
because once she told me that, she explained how broken the group was and how, they were coming together, and she was a new manager there, blah blah blah. And that how they start drifting off after, and they're doing everything virtually, and the teams haven't met each other. So that's when she explained to me in the first session how they start drifting off after 45 minutes. So that's what she was looking for. So how I came up with the 7,500 is I looked at what you gave us as the guideline. And so if I was in person 2 to 4 hours in one day, it would have been the 75. And that's why it was going to be 3 45-minute sessions online. That's why I put the 7,500 for those 3 together.
okay. Now I love that pricing. I like the way you put that together. Keep in mind, typically in the future, I don't care if they want you for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 20 minutes. Your service fee for your keynote is for 1 hour or any portion of 1 hour. Lisa, when I was on my keynote range is 50,000 now, but when I was on the $7,500 level many years ago, I got paid $7,500 for 12 minutes one time. 12 minutes. That's why your pricing, and you need to verbalize this to the meeting planner. My keynote is 1 hour or any portion of 1 hour, and that 45 minutes, that's cool. Now you did the block booking strategy. You said, let me go at 7,500. I can do 3 sessions for 7,500, no problem. Remember, besides professional athletes and in a few other industries, professional speakers are one of the most highest paid professions by the hour on planet Earth. Now, I don't know where else in the world you're gonna be able to go and make $7,500 for basically 3 hours worth of work.
Right.
Some people don't make that every month.
Right.
So that's still a good deal. Okay. So what I'm feeling right now is this is a good deal. It feels good.
Right.
They're communicative, and you're doing your part on your side to keep it together. So the first thing is, what notes do you have, Lisa? Talk about what first with her.
A specific date so I can look at my calendar for my availability.
Exactly. The next thing is the pricing, which you've already told them that you would do it for the $7,500 for 3 45-minute sessions, which is a great deal at the level that you're on. So you're going to ask them, remember, the next important question is purchase order.
Right.
How long does it take for your company to generate a purchase order? She's going to tell you, well, Lisa, that process, for us to be able to get you half of your money up front, that process typically takes 3 to 5 days. Okay. Then you can give them some payment options, Lisa. You can tell them, hey, I also offer, FYI, I also offer a 10% discount if you pay it all up front. See, let her know that. You never know. They could put it on the company credit card. If you want to put it on the credit card, I offer you 5 or 10% discount if you pay it all up front. If she goes for it, that's great. If not, the 50%. And how do you want to pay for that? Or do you need to issue a company check? Is that going to be, I only take certified funds, or a company check is basically certified funds right from the accounting department. Now, the next question you're going to ask her is, okay, now that we have a potential date, we have the budget is okay, we're doing this virtually. You got 3 things checked off of getting the engagement. And the next thing you need to go into is a full-blown needs assessment.
Okay.
What is the next the biggest question I always have, besides sending her over the pre-program questionnaire, which you should do because that's going to give you every insight you need to service that gig properly. First thing I'm going to ask her is, Ms. Johnson, what is the main objective of this meeting? What are you trying to accomplish? What do you want to get from this meeting the most? And Lisa, this is when you're going to have a pen in your hand. You're going to say, hey, I'm all ears, Ms. Johnson. What is it that, and you're going to write down everything she tells you. What do you feel is the biggest pain?
So is this different than when I asked her that in the first session and she told me what all her pain points were with her team?
Yeah, this is a different kind of walking her through. See, you got the initial stuff first. You got the stuff so you can get an understanding. Now you're going to get in more detail, because now we're getting closer to getting the booking. You're going to get in more detail moving into the, okay, well, I tell you what, Ms. Johnson, like, you're just going to ask her a couple things and make sure you're not missing anything from the first stuff that she
Right.
told you,
Okay.
right? Just a couple of things. And then you're going to say, okay, well, you know what? That is in alignment with what you told me in the first thing. Now you're going to reassure her, Lisa, that the signature programs that I'm bringing to remedy, reduce the level of stress, increase productivity, and create more engagement, get them to communicate better, get them out of the funk that they're in, restore morale, motivation, things of this nature. The signature programs, I believe, that's going to remedy the pain that you talked to me about in the very first needs assessment call that we had. It's going to be right about blank-based leadership, or whatever your signature program. You're going to offer her that.
Right.
And you're gonna let her know, after this engagement, what your team is gonna be able to do is, and you can read the bullets directly from your signature programs. You got it?
Okay. Okay.
After she says that, no, after you share that with her and give her some reassurances of what you're gonna be teaching her and the value, then you're gonna say, listen to me carefully, Lisa. So, Ms. Johnson, based upon the information I shared with you, do you feel like this is something you want to move forward on? Do you feel like I'll be a great speaker for your event? It's either yes or no. She's going to say, well, Lisa, I need to talk about it with my board. I do feel confident about it, because you may have to go through another call with another board chair or committee member if she isn't the sole decision maker, which typically they aren't. But if she has the juice to say yes, oh, you know what, Lisa, I've heard enough. What you share with me, you spent time with me on 2 calls. It's within our budget. I do want to work with you. I've looked at the sales tools. You have everything to offer. It is that we need. Yes, we want to move forward. Okay. Now watch this. You're going to remind her, Ms. Johnson, keep in mind, my calendar is very volatile. So I need all the details from the event. It's virtual, the date, the times, send over the pre-programmed questionnaire, and then I'm going to fill out the speaker engagement agreement. Be looking for that in the follow-up email. I'm going to have all the details in there. The first thing I need to do is I need to get the speaker engagement agreement. I need a signature from you on that. Then once we have money, times, dates on the signature program, I apologize, on the speaker engagement agreement, then you're going to put right there in the engagement agreement when she's going to be able to issue over the 50% deposit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to, however you're going to accept payment on that. And all you got to do is just send it over to her along with send the pre-program questionnaire over there. Once she sends it back, you're going to take the details from the pre-program questionnaire and move it over to the speaker engagement agreement. And then you're going to wait for your 50% deposit.
Okay.
And now you're all locked in, and that's all you need to do on this next call. You got it?
Yep. Okay, I'm making one more note here.
Okay, just so I know that you know what you're supposed to do. Run it back from top to bottom of what you need to talk about on this next call, because you don't need to say anything else. You've already done the work in the prior call, and you've been sent a couple of emails. So run it back to me from top to bottom.
Okay, so first, I'm going to send her an email tonight, just saying, that I'm looking forward to our discussion on Wednesday. I wanted to make sure that you had a chance to look over the materials that I sent her, which was my video,
Yep.
the website link, and the speaker info kit. Just that the importance of us being ready on Wednesday, because we're both busy people, and I'll be ready to discuss any questions you may have. All right, so that's beforehand.
Yep.
Then on Wednesday, I'm going to ask her, what she thought. You said not to presume. Wednesday, I'll ask her, did you have a chance to look at it, and what were your thoughts on it? And then she'll tell me what she thought about it. So we seem to be moving in the right direction. Do you have any specific dates so I can look at my calendar for my availability? That's number one. Number two, let's talk about the budget. Was the $7,500 in your budget for my services? If she says
Yep.
yes, great. What is the purchase order process? How do you guys typically get that going? I can't remember right offhand because I haven't looked at it in a couple of weeks if I put about the 50% up front. I don't think I did, but I'll tell her I need 50% up front.
Yeah, you probably didn't because it wasn't time to talk about that yet.
Right,
But it is,
yeah.
it is in the next conversation.
Right.
So good point. Good point.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Give them the payment options. Oh, by the way, I offer a discount if you pay up front. Third thing is the needs assessment, which is different from the pre-program questionnaire. So I'm going to ask her, what is the main objective that you want to get from these sessions you want me to present to your team?
Yep.
Reassure her that I'm bringing, I'm looking at my notes here. Oh, that I'm bringing the help that she needs to get them to communicate better, increase morale, et cetera, you know, everything that what she told me in the first session.
Okay, wait, Lisa, let me just interject something in here.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to reassure her that you're bringing it. You're going to reassure her that your signature programs can get the job done.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
you. The value in your signature programs. Don't use language like that. It ain't
Okay.
about you. It's about, listen, the reason why these signature programs were created is for the very thing that you're going through right now. You see the kind of value that has?
Right. Okay.
Don't ever make it about you. Always
Okay.
make it about them. Meeting planners love this kind of language. Nobody gives a damn about them, but Lisa Allman Baldwin does.
Okay.
You're going to get yours anyway. How are you going to get yours? The glory, the speaking engagement. This is the hardest, easiest money you'll ever make in your life. You're going to be able to present your program. You're going to present the story. You're going to help people.
Right.
But right now, it's about the meeting planner, how you're going to help them. You got it?
Okay.
Everything else you said was beautiful up to that point. It ain't about what you're going to do. It's what them damn signature programs are going to do.
Okay.
Keep that in mind. Continue,
Okay.
please.
All right. So I have that there. Okay.
Yep.
And the next thing is, let's see. Let's see. Number 4 was she may or may not be the person to make the decision. So be prepared about that. But going back to, we seem to be moving in the right direction, that we seem to be a fit for what you need, and that you seem to be the type of client that I want to have.
Yep.
Let's see. And then, so keep in mind that my schedule is very volatile. So I'm going to send over a pre-program questionnaire so that I have all the information I needed to present to your team. Once I get that back, then I'll send you a speaker engagement agreement, and that will have all of the details of what we've discussed, the price, how to pay, what you tell me, how the deposit gets paid, et cetera.
Yeah. And the reason why you need to get her over, sending her over the speaker engagement agreement doesn't mean she's going to sign it just because you send it to her. She's going to look at it. She may have to run it through her legal department. So that's why the details of everything you discuss needs to be broken down on the speaker engagement agreement. Once she says, Lisa, I looked at the agreement, legal approved it. Yep, I can put a signature on this now. Because if you watch this, if you're missing something, she's going to send that back to you in the email to say, hey, Lisa, you got the dates wrong. I can't sign this because the dates are wrong or the dollar amount's wrong. That's why you got to go a constant going back and forth. And Lisa, remember, don't get discouraged if she has to, if she got to put you in contact with another board committee member. Watch this. If she says that, that means that she's just putting you in contact with another decision maker is going to get you closer to the bag. Right. So take her through the same process. Hey, Ms. Johnson, forward them the same email that I sent to you. I'd be happy to talk to anybody else from your organization for about, maybe a short 5 to 10 minute conversation.
Okay.
That's it. We don't need to spend another half an hour with them because you already are doing the bulk of that with her. She can relay all that other kind of stuff. Remember, the more time they spend with you, the less time they value.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
Always keep it short. Always keep it short. That's how you maintain leverage and control of the sales cycle. Other than that, Lisa, you're expressing yourself beautifully. As you can hear, the success in booking a speaking engagement is in the details.
Right.
So if you forget any of this, Austin, I have this up in a couple of days. You can revert back to it, look at everything, just forward it up to about an hour and 42 minutes into the Q&A, and you can back it up and listen to all that language. Remember, it ain't about you. It's about what those signature programs can do for their company. Lisa, it sounds to me like you're about 75% away of getting this gig. It's not
Okay.
about praying or hoping or wishing. Just stay on top of it, manage the deal properly, and it's going to have a favorable outcome. Mark my words. All right.
Excellent. Okay. Then the other quick question I had, and somebody else might have this also. So the last time I had asked you about the time frame for follow-ups, and you had said to send Austin a support ticket about the drip marketing, and he did just answer me today saying, you know, to review module 2, I think it was, where he goes, or module 5. Yeah, 5. When he goes through all of the active campaign. So
did you have an additional question to ask him? I mean, he's on.
No, really what I was going to say is, you know, what else can I do to help spur more people to book a strategy call? I'm doing heavily on the LinkedIn outreach. I've started a weekly email campaign. I'm adding people to the list. So
Okay,
I'll go back through that again.
No, wait a minute. Well, let's get him in here, because you already know when Auston Troyer goes live, it's like an E.F. Hutton commercial. We all got to listen. Hey,
Right.
Troyer, can you step in here real quick?
Yeah, for sure. So I'd say,
Okay, so look,
make sure.
I'm sorry, I gotta excuse myself just for a second, just to take a restroom break. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'd say, yeah, keep up what you're doing with LinkedIn outreach. What I'd say is, you know, if the goal is to book more strategy sessions right now, your main focus should be upping the volume on LinkedIn, on, you know, once you hit your cap on LinkedIn, on the connections you sent out, start to do follow-up to the people you've already messaged and you're having conversations with. So kind of do nurturing there, and then start to get more volume on the outreach, start to do email outreach as well. And what you can do is just the people you connected with, if they're not replying in LinkedIn, you can go over to email and start directly emailing them to start getting bookings from that. Obviously it's pretty time intensive, but you know, that's your main focus right now, is just getting bookings. So it's okay to spend the time doing that. Another way you can do it is, if you're starting to build an email list of people that are, you know, actually, you know, giving their email and contacting you, what you can do is, in week 5, I have a training on nurturing your email list every week. It's really important. And every single week we send out an email, and even if the email is only 1 paragraph long, we'll consistently book 50 plus strategy calls from it. So one email can fill up our entire week of strategy calls without even running ads, without even doing more outreach. So make sure you're doing email nurturing. And I teach that in week 5. And I show exact emails that we've sent to our list that have, in one email, have booked over, you know, 30, 50 calls, and 30 to 50 calls, you know, that's going to be more than $50,000 just from one email being sent out. So continue doing that. Obviously the next level, once you're maxing your time on the kind of manual outreach, is going over to use Facebook ads. Facebook ads is extremely powerful right now to book strategy calls, and you can expect around you know, $50 to $150 per call booked. So make sure that you can, you know, obviously afford that, and especially in the beginning, you're going to be investing money to get the learnings of which ads are going to book the most calls at the best price. And so, you know, it may not be, you know, the first couple of weeks or even the first month that you're running your Facebook ads that they are, you know, booking a ton of calls. It takes some iteration and experimentation. So you may have to invest, you know, $1,000 to $5,000 to figure out which kind of ad copy and creative works best to book calls. But once you find that winning variation of, you know, image or video with copy to the right audience on Facebook, you can have a combination book you calls for over a year without changing a single thing. So it's really powerful to invest the money to actually learn. But don't go to Facebook ads right away until you're maximizing the free strategies that we recommend, like LinkedIn and then, you know, email outreach.
Okay. Okay. And then just to clarify on that one point. So on the active camp, so on the LinkedIn, the majority of the people, their email is not in their information on LinkedIn. It's just their, you know, LinkedIn URL. So
Yep.
Am I then looking, since they have their business listed on there, am I looking online to find their email so that I can add them to my, you know, email outreach list, or targeting them separately?
Yeah, so here's a couple quick ways to get the email. So when you connect with, when they actually accept the LinkedIn connection request, LinkedIn gives you the email of the person. If you just Google LinkedIn contact export, and you'll see number one is export connections from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn lets you export your connections. What you'll do is maybe once a week, you'll export all your connections, and most of them should have email address. And then you'll just grab the email. That's only people who actually accept your connection.
Okay.
Now, the people that don't accept it, let's say it's been over a week and they haven't accept your connection request, what you can do is, you know, use Google to go look up their business and find their email that way. A tool called hunter.io can help with this process, save you some time. Another way that you can do it is going to use the Instagram app and search their name on Instagram. And if you can find, if they have a business profile, every single business profile on Instagram, they give you the email address. It'll say email person or email, you know, contact us on the app, and then you can grab the email from that.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are a couple ways to get it. The key of all this is obviously organization, because you're reaching out to a lot of people, and there's a lot of kind of different statuses of these people. You know, have they accepted the connection request? You know, how have you reached out to them? Who are you following up with? It's really important to be organized with all of this, and this is why we recommend a CRM. But there's plenty of this activity you can be doing to fill up your calendar with strategy sessions.
Okay, so I'm making all those notes in Active Campaign.
Yeah, well, you can do Active Campaign. We recommend using Active Campaign.
I mean, in Pipedrive, I mean, sorry, Pipedrive.
Yeah,
yeah.
Pipedrive is going to be better for kind of high volume sales activity.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Austin. That really helps. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. And then Kevin, quick last question. And this is on someone, Anita asked her question about the forms. You said the pre-programmed questionnaire is the only form we should be sending out in a Word format, that everything else should be PDF. But is that the same also for the booking engagement agreement as well? And the pre-programmed questionnaire, those can be Word documents, right?
Well, excuse me. I don't like sending over the speaker engagement agreement in a Word document, because I don't need anybody to change anything. If they need me to make changes, I make the changes on my end, convert it into a PDF and send it over to them. When you send it over to them and they give it a final, then all it needs is a signature.
Okay.
I don't want them modifying what I sent to them. I want to negotiate the terms, and then I'm gonna put it in on my side. They're gonna read it and they're gonna say, okay, this is ready for a signature, and boom. Remember, there's two things that make an agreement binding and legal: a signature and an exchange of revenue. And I'm going to get the signature first, and then I'm gonna get them to cut me 50% non-refundable deposit. When you follow the system, it's beautiful. You've got to maintain. You cannot let the client control the process. They don't know what your protocols are. They don't know how you do business. They don't know what your process is. That's your job to be able to control it. And we're happy to teach you how to do it on the speakerfocus.com.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you for all of that. And I'll let you know how the Wednesday conversation goes with it.
Absolutely. Keep me posted and informed, whatever details you need. You know, we got your back. We're going to get you this booking and we're going to get you this revenue and take it to a whole nother level. You're doing an amazing job, Lisa. Outstanding.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Austin.
Very welcome. Enjoy Ecuador.
Okay. Thank you. I will.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, here we're not done. It's not over. It is not over. We got up next. We have Michelle Arnold is up next. Hey, Michelle.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing amazing tonight. I'm feeling real lean today on a Monday group call.
So am I. Hit legs hard this morning, so I'm right there with you.
I know that's right. I'm gonna keep being inspired too. I see you when you hit the gym. I'm like, man, she goes hard.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah, break
So
up that stress, Michelle. Yes, ma'am.
I have two comments and then a quick question. So one of my
Okay.
comments is I wanted to say thank you so much for last week when we talked about doing some of the sharing my my signature program
Mm-hmm.
tidbits on LinkedIn, and I figured out how you do the video. So I got that together. So I'll start doing that tomorrow afternoon. So I'm excited about that. And I've already
Okay.
wrote up my notes and how I'm going to do it.
Okay.
And then also, I just wanted to say that, I never really thought about it prior to becoming a part of this group, the importance of having I like to say niche or niche, doesn't matter, but niche, because people will oftentimes ask you to talk about things. And, we like the money. Let's just get real with it. We do. And you find yourself accepting opportunities that you really have no idea what you're talking about. And I say that because over the weekend, someone I went to high school with, he has a marriage group. And he said, Michelle, I would love for you to talk to my marriage group about how to keep your wife moist. I'm just going to put it that way. And I said, well, that's not my area of expertise. So why would you think that I would be a good fit to talk about that? And he says, well, I love your vlogs. I love your YouTube channel. I love the way you talk. I love the way you express yourself. And you have really nice lips. And I said, what? And what does that have to do with anything? I said, but in any of my videos that you've ever seen, have you ever seen me talk about sex, period? And he's not the only guy that's ever asked me to talk about something that was dealing with a sexual nature. And I'm thinking, when people are looking at your material, why do they ask you to talk about things that you don't specialize in? Now, could I wing it? I probably could, but I'm just not at a place in my life right now where I want to do that. I have done that, not with that subject, of course, but with subjects I've been able to do my research. And because I'm always confident when I speak, I'm gonna make you believe that I know what I'm talking about, even if I don't. But and I guess my question is, have you ever had a time where someone asked you to talk about something that was not necessarily an area that you were very knowledgeable in, but and you turned it down, but later thought, well, maybe I could have just kind of, yeah.
In other words, you want to just, a lot of times you want to take the gig for the money.
Right.
And listen, the reason why I have so many speaking engagements under my belt is because I wanted to learn the game, but even when I didn't know what I was doing, and I would just say yes, that I could speak about anything. And that's what a typical motivational, inspirational speaker does. They do when they don't know how to facilitate, when they don't understand the art and the science behind delivering the message, when they don't know how to teach, when they don't know how to transfer knowledge at an extremely high level. Now, Michelle, clearly, this was, maybe a little off to the left, but you stepped in there and did the right thing. You was like, hey, that's not my lane. I don't speak about that. I speak about teaching these companies how to connect through communication, not making love.
Right.
Or, as he put it, the gentleman could have been definitely more professional, but I'm not knocking him. Maybe that's just the way he expresses himself.
Well, the way I shared it is not exactly what he said. I'm just, putting it the nice way.
Oh, okay.
For lack of a better word. Yes.
He went all the way in. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I believe in freedom of speech to say whatever you feel. It's okay. And I don't judge people for their beliefs or whatever it is they say or how they say it, because I'm gonna say it the way I want to say it. Now, so the key is that you got to take the responsibility when you're the speaker. Now, see, The 21-year-old Kevin T. Robertson, I'd say I could speak about anything because I was so pressed to get the gig. I didn't give a damn if it was a rocket science convention. If they had a check and they wanted me to speak, I was going to come and try to, you can't fake it until you make it in this business. This is going to make you look like a fool. If I look like a fool to my own admission, yes, you will look like a fool sometimes when you are teaching a topic where you have no subject matter expertise in that area. You can't reach and speak to these companies because you have people that are professional that need your real skill set to learn these strategies that you're teaching them. And see, this is why the motivational era and the fluffy motivational speaker, that era is over. These meeting planners literally have had it up to here when it comes to motivational inspiration. It doesn't move the meter. So yeah, Michelle, you did the right thing. If it's not in your niche or niche, as you say, it's okay to be bougie too, Michelle. You deserve that. You know what I'm saying? You've earned that, I should say. It's okay. It's okay to get high profile, switch up the words every once in a while. Niche, whatever. I say niche, tomato. Who cares?
Right.
The key is make sure that you are speaking about things that you know about. I call it in KTR's COC formula in module number 1, command over content. When you speak about communication, Michelle, you have command over content. And it's okay to say no. And you speakers need to understand, you should say no when it's not in your wheelhouse because you're going to embarrass yourself. And I've done it too many times just to take a check. Subject matter experts don't have to do that. You have another question?
Nope, that was it. I just wanted to find out if you had ever experienced that. He goes, "Oh, I'll pay you well." I said, "Well, you probably could, but I'm not gonna get him to talk about something that I don't specialize in."
Yeah.
And I guess it's interesting how people see you as being able to, or I should say, being an authority in many areas. And like I tell people all the time, there's many things when I do my car vlogs, a lot of that I just wing it. But it's also something that I do know something about. But for you to ask me to step way on the other side of the fence to talk about something that, number one, I'm not married, so I don't know what married couples do or don't do, and don't really care. But that's just, you're really reaching there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you definitely don't want. It's going to go bad for you as the speaker, and it's going to go horrible for the meeting planner.
Right.
I mean, believe me, and they're going to despise you. Then you're never going to get that booking ever again because you didn't do the groundwork. That's why the needs assessment is so important. Listen, it's okay if the meeting planner is not a good fit for your speaker brand. That's okay. It took me years to come to the realization that everybody does not qualify for my service. You don't deserve this high level of service. That's why we just don't let any and everybody on our coaching platform at speakerfocus.com. That's why I don't take any and every booking. There's certain things that I speak about. There's certain events that I want to speak about. I'm custom built for the corporate and association market, celebrity events, banquets, award shows, those kind of ceremonies, the open and plenary keynote speaker, going in there, crushing and teaching these corporations how to be better. That's my thing. It's something you have to know what your thing is, and you have to stick to that because it's just going to go bad if you force it. This is organic. It's a fit. You have to learn to let your professional speaking services speak volumes about your integrity. And that's what this should do. And clearly, Michelle, you have that in space. So good for you. Don't be afraid to turn down a speaking gig. Oh, Michelle, I did want to say one other thing to you. I don't know if you saw my feedback about your last version of the speaker video demo, the test version.
No, I'll go in and look.
Okay. It was amazing. Look at my notes in there. Remember, I don't want you attracting shoe flies. So jump more when you do the final version of the speaker video demo. Like when you start sitting down, putting together the talking headshots, jump right into it. Meeting Planners Conference Coordinators. My name is Michelle Arnold, and I teach leadership strategies to build effective communication, whatever it is, right? You don't have to go. You can say I'm a certified life coach. You said that you were a motivational speaker in there.
I did say that, and I probably shouldn't have, right?
I just need you to take that part out because that's not the type of business that I want to attract into the powerful brand that you've built.
Gotcha.
It does matter. A quality meeting planner or conference coordinator, I'm not telling you that they look down in motivational speakers, but it's like, let me see the best way I could describe it. They just don't take them serious.
Gotcha.
And I don't want you lost in the shuffle of 80% of the YouTubers who don't have any leverage, who are talking loud and not saying anything. Very few people know how to speak in this industry, and you are one of them who does. We do not want to diminish your value by calling you a motivational speaker from a marketing standpoint. I know you do have motivational programs, Michelle, and I do know you know how to motivate with the best of them, but that ain't what this is about. I want you converting leads into revenue, and you're not going to do it by calling yourself a motivational speaker. Not in the era that we're in right now. We are in a global mental health crisis, and I want them seeing your value, not saying, "Oh, there we go. We got us another one talking about how they're gonna come in and motivate us."
Okay.
Look at it from the perspective of the conference coordinator. That is the only thing I would take out there and change. And then cut out the introduction. Jump into the value. My name is Lisa. I'm sorry, my name is Michelle Arnold, and I teach
Gotcha.
the
Okay.
value for I have a signature program entitled, and what your audience is going to learn afterwards is, let me tell you something, Michelle, when you actually get into the bullets and the facilitation and the teaching, I was like, there she is. But you took too long to get into the groove. I need you to jump right into it.
Okay.
Don't be
Okay.
holding it back. You're good at what you do. Show me. Illustration beats conversation. You got it?
Yes, sir. I will redo it and send it again.
Yes, ma'am. You're doing a great job. Hey, no, wait, hold on. No, listen. You don't need to send another test.
Oh, okay.
You need to jump right into getting your speaker video demo done. You have command over your content. Your signature programs are beautiful. They are beautifully articulated. You put together some of the most lovely word sequences of any student that we've ever had on this platform. Don't waste it.
Got it.
Jump into finalizing your speaker video demo, and also get your sales tools together and let us know which one you're going to do first, and then send over something so we can give you some feedback.
My sales tools. Okay.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you much. And I think I threw in the motivational speaking part only because a good friend of mine told me last Thursday that one of his coworkers committed suicide. And that just had been weighing heavily on my mind, which took me so long to get that video done because it bothered him. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll throw in that piece because, during this time, a lot of people are going through a lot of things. So you just never know, but I will take that out.
Yeah, listen, motivation doesn't save lives. Coping strategies saves lives.
Right.
When they call the help desk, they're looking for some strategies to talk them off there. They ain't looking for a motivational speech. I want to hear something so I don't take my life. And right now we're in a broken global mental health crisis. Give them the value, Michelle.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Talk to you real soon.
Okay.
Outstanding job. I love it when you got a high level business professional like Michelle Arnold. She's so articulate and super professional in everything that she does, but she's willing to listen to grow her speaker brand. And she teaches other speakers how to speak. She's great at the technical aspects of speaking and getting the connectivity together with your group or your organization. There's no way I'm going to allow that. And she's not operating at her best before she goes into the marketplace, because my God, do they need speakers like that right now? All she got to do is stay away from the motivation. And I'm telling you right now, she's going to attract so many high fee speaking gigs because these people are so broken. It's such a disconnect right now that's happening in this world. If you heard the stuff that I hear every single day, you'd understand. You better be trying to make them signature programs work for these meeting planners or conference coordinators, and nobody gives a damn. Keith Copeland, you're up. Why don't people give a damn about the meeting planner or conference coordinator? They're people too. And they are the life's blood to run your speaker business. Yes, so many of you just don't seem to care. You don't understand, and you're going to pay heavily for it. You better hear me and hear me good. Your friends can't help you. And Keith, I'll be right with you. Your family members cannot help you. When you're one-on-one with these conference coordinators, it's who can outdo who. It's who can out negotiate who. And the meeting planner, you don't think that they have negotiating skills? You don't think that they can hear when your signature programs are some bullshit and you going real heavy with this motivational, saucy, salesy stuff, they can feel it. And they're going to put up a quick blockade. And you're not going to be able to get anywhere anymore, because they're going to tune you out. They're going to start listening to what they want to listen to instead of all the value that you could have had if you had enough respect for them up front. Listen to me. I've messed it up enough for all of us. Learn from my mistakes. Keith, how are you, brother?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay.
Your connection is beautiful.
Okay, well, we have some thunderstorms going on here in Los Angeles, so it kind of knocked it out for a minute.
Keith,
But
they can't shut down your level of positivity you have in your signature programs, bro.
No. First off, I had a couple of quick comments, and then number one, I just wanted to say, listening to all this, I can't wait to get to that level where a lot of the other students are at, as far as their videos and negotiating and all that. I can't wait to get there. But I do understand it's a process. And so with that being the case, I'm encouraged by the fact that I don't have to rush, so I can make sure that I dot the I's and cross the T's. Wow. With that said, I know you and I, personally shared. My wife is a Mary Kay director, and she is, she's working with one of the high levels as far as out here in Los Angeles, regional, national level. So I turned around and shared my signature programs with her. And after I tweaked them, because I did tweak them as you suggested, I even changed some of the names of them. And so in doing that and adding to the paragraphs, they totally understood. They were like, Keith, oh my gosh, when you are up and ready, we're calling you. So I just felt so encouraged that I knew that even though I'm a young pup in the game, getting there, that there's a rainbow at the end of this. There's a rainbow at the end of this. Yes, so I am at the point now.
Keith, real quick, let me just interject this in here before you finish. Not to interrupt, but to interject. You may be a pup in the game of high fee speaking.
Yes.
You are absolute mastered leadership in your journey with coaching. You are a specialist, a subject matter expert, a leading authority, and a trusted advisor. That's who you are, brother. Okay. So you hang your hat on that. You're hanging your hat on your experience, and you are capable of delivering value. It doesn't matter if you haven't done this at a high level right now, as far as getting the fees, you know what the hell you're talking about. Remember that. Because that's what we're packaging. See, why do you think she said that? Again, you're talking about a director for Mary Kay. You know how many directors of Mary Kay I know that drive pink Cadillacs? This lady is about her money. You can't even get to that level, bro, unless you understand marketing and sales and things of that nature. You know how many trainings that this lady goes through when you're in Mary Kay? She's in constant training all the time. That should be the litmus test for you right there. How many?
Exactly.
That's just it, because that lady knows what she's looking at. She said, Keith, the signature programs, because it has value to her. See, and that's why you were taught to write it, Keith. That's why we've been back and forth 2 or 3 times, Keith. What I tell you the last time, Keith, don't send these damn signature programs. Don't send another complete assignment back over to me. I need to see opening paragraphs, bullets. And you get better every single time, bro. But go ahead. I just had to put that in there.
No, and I thank you for that. So I did send you another copy for you to just take a look at, since I renamed the signature programs, and I think you'll like that, because I think you'll see. Okay, the light came on. I finished module 1 and module 2. I'm going to start module 3 this evening when I get to work. However, I'm running into the difficulty of, I filled out and sent to you and Austin the bio draft. I did it exactly the way that you asked. Okay. I'm having difficulty transferring all that information to what I've done before. And so I sent what I've done prior to me meeting you along with the bio draft. So, because I'm stuck now, as far as I don't know what to put in, what not to put in. So I need some direction in that.
Okay, I want you to simplify. Okay. So so here's what happens. So let's go over the first question. All right, let's go over the first question for your bio. Do you have it? Do you have the document in front of you?
Credentials.
Credentials. Okay. So now this one could get real tricky. Keith, this is what I love about you because you're old school. I know you printed it out. I know you got it right there in front of you.
Yep. Stop it.
Yeah,
Yep.
Keith, I know you didn't grab your phone like the millennials, right? I know you
No.
had it printed out.
It's
Okay.
printed out.
I know, it's all good. So listen, credentials, okay? Now, Keith, what we do a lot of times, because we have so many subject matter experts on our platform and they have so much experience. So what happens is you get in a habit of talking too much because you feel so proud about your credentials and you get overwhelmed. You're like, oh my God, I have so many highlights.
Right.
Remember the opening paragraphs. In each one, you should be converting the questions into paragraph format. So put enough in there about your credentials. Watch this. Keith, Keith Copeland is either a specialist, subject matter expert, leading authority, trusted advisor in the field of leadership development.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
Over the past 25 years, Keith is Everything cannot fit in there, Keith. You got to scale it back. So take the biggest parts of your credentials and let them know the biggest part of why you are so good at what you do. That's just an attention getter. Credential.
Okay.
Everything can't fit in there. You got about 3 or 4 lines per paragraph, Keith. So choose wisely.
Okay.
Send it over to me. If it's not on point, I'll tell you no.
Okay. Because what I did right now, I just sent over answering credentials, author, timeline, reputation, kind of facilitator, accomplishments. I filled them in like you said. I listed them.
Yes.
I listed them.
Answer the questions first. But what you can do is you can convert them into paragraph format. There are 8 questions. You should have 8 paragraphs when you send over that assignment. Okay,
I'll relook at the questions then.
Don't just send me the questions with the answers. Convert them into paragraph. If
all right.
you need an example, go back and read my bio out loud. Okay. How does KTR's bio read? Does mine feel similar? There you go.
Yeah, but there's where I'm a little stuck. And I know that you said your 35 years is yours. I don't know how to articulate my experience. I haven't written a book yet. I put forthcoming.
See, this is the problem.
Yeah.
Keith, I need you to do me a favor. You need to listen to me carefully. You are an accelerated thinker. You are a person, your personality type, because you're so strong in your convictions and what you've done in the leadership realm, in coaching and things of that nature, that you always want to put the cart before the horse. Keith, you're already on stage. The meeting planner has sent you the deposit money already, and you want to be there right now. You have to slow down. Let me share something with you. You said I already finished module 1. I've already looked at module number 2, and I'm getting ready to get into module 3. Why are you into module 3 already when you haven't sent me my bio formula? Why are you into module 3 when you haven't sent me the signature program template? Keith, you have to eat the elephant one bite at a time, bro. Send me over the bio formula. Let me check it. Let me give you some feedback. And then you're not far away from finishing your signature programs, Keith.
Right.
You got one more review and you're going to be on the other side of it. First of all, your languaging was great. You have command over your content. You actually know what the hell you're talking about. You have to slow down. Get those things done first. Then you can move over to doing your sales too. See, you're looking at videos, but you're not giving me no action. And that's not like you.
Okay.
That's not what you're telling your team.
No.
Tell them if you're not performing at a high level, hey, listen, you got to go back to the basics. We see a lot of times we're high performers like you, Keith. We don't take our own advice.
Right.
Stop rushing, brother. Stop rushing. That's why I told you, don't send it back over here until you give me a completed assignment. So what's the timeline of when you're going to send me over the bio with the questions answered, and then the signature program, again, upgrades for review? When are you going to get that done?
The signature program upgrade has already been sent. Get that.
Okay, cool. I'll check that. I'll check that tonight.
And I will do the bio draft tonight.
Okay, now, Keith, one last thing. Unless you have another question, which is cool, I have something I want to point out to you.
Okay.
So the first question are the credentials.
Mhm.
Remember, just let them know you're laying the foundation of why you're a subject matter expert. Remember,
Okay.
these questions, you need to be telling this in the third person. Keith
Okay.
Copeland is, don't say I,
Right.
no, third person, okay?
Mhm.
What's the second question?
Author.
Author. Now watch this. What's the title to your mainstay headline? That 5-word formula, what is it?
Leadership techniques that build success.
Keith Copeland is the author of the forthcoming book. What's that title again?
Leadership techniques that build success.
There you go. That's the title of your book. You haven't written it yet, but you don't have a book. That is letting them know he's writing a book about your mainstay headline. You don't have to have a book, Keith.
Okay.
Now, Keith spends hours studying leadership, peak performance. Blah, 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 blah. That's the truth.
Yes, it is.
That's how you fill that in. Watch this, Keith. What's the next question?
Timeline.
Timeline of when you started. When did you first discover that you had a penchant to lead other people and be good at it? What was it? High school? Seventh grade?
As a kid in 7th grade, captain of my baseball team.
Well, there you go. Okay, at an early age, discovered when he was the captain of the baseball team. What does that state? That states that you've been an exceptional leader your entire life. What's the next question?
Reputation.
Keith, all you got to do is tell them how super fantastic you are. And listen, I know your wife speaks highly of you. I want to know about the other coaches in your division. What do they say about you? I want to know about the players that you coach, the moms that you, the parents that you had an impact on their lives. That's Keith Copeland. Brother, you ain't got to search far to tell people what kind of reputation that you have. And if you're looking for a quote from me, I'll be happy to give you one right now. I already know who you are.
I have pen in hand.
Oh, you want it right now? Oh, you want to? Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Watch this. Okay. So now, Keith Copeland's leadership strategies touch the very fabric of what we're lacking in the world of business today. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
I find his insights to be not only impressive.
I find his insights to be impressive.
I not only find his insights to be impressive, but I find his leadership techniques, and put leadership techniques in quotes. I find his leadership techniques to be easy to understand, thought-provoking, easy to understand, thought-provoking, and gets right to the point.
Got it.
Of helping your team achieve next level results. Gets right to the point of helping your team achieve next level results.
Helping your team
achieve next level results.
Achieve next level.
Watch this. This is the last line.
All right.
Do yourself a favor and connect with his energy now. Do yourself a favor and connect with his energy now to experience success in ways that you never dreamed of or imagined.
Okay, to experience success in ways
that you've never dreamed of, experienced, or imagined.
Never dreamed of
or imagined. KTR, put that little dash and put KTR, Kevin T. Robertson, Celebrity Insider, America's leading focus expert.
Got you. Okay, I got that.
Don't
now,
play with me, Keith. I'm the best.
I ain't playing with you. I'm not playing with you.
I like that though. That's taking action. You see?
Yeah, I'm right. Okay, so now I've always known what my niche was going to be, but I got the confirmation and I wanted to articulate it in starting. My niche is going to be the high schools and the colleges.
Okay.
So You used the word team, but earlier you used the word business. I do understand as I grow, I'll move from high school and college to businesses, but in starting, is it okay if I'm very direct in saying high schools or colleges, or should I stick to just business?
Okay, first of all, when you're speaking of high schools, Keith, let me just be real clear about something. You're dealing with a local, regional, city, federal, or state municipality. That
Yes.
is a business.
Okay.
When you're dealing with colleges and universities, there's about 4,000 plus colleges and
Right.
universities throughout the United States and abroad. You have the
Okay.
smaller divinity schools and
Mhm.
smaller, about 140 something historical Black colleges and universities. They have the smaller budgets. If
Right.
I were you, I would be marketing to all of the Division I schools.
I am.
Division I, they have the bigger budgets. They can pay
Right.
you in the neighborhood of 3,500 to around 5,000. Okay, for
Okay.
your max,
Right.
you got to take out all your expenses up front.
Sure.
The universities and collegiate market, it is a nonprofit, but nonprofit is very profitable. They are a business. And
Right.
guess what? They have the students pay an activity fee. And what makes the college and university market work very well is that it's mandated to bring in for homecoming. When they want
Right.
to have an event, it's mandated that they bring in clowns, bands, jugglers, illusionists, hypnotists, gospel singers, rappers, all these special events, and they hire speakers
Right.
on a regular basis. So it is not affected by the economy.
Right. I understand that, being a past student government president in
It's a
college.
business.
Yes. Okay. So I got, yes.
They want to do business with you, but you got to have your business set up to do business with them properly. If you're going to speak for high schools, you should be speaking at leadership conferences.
Right.
Who will pay you $5,000? Speak at education conferences, speak at athletic conferences,
Right.
both for the high school and the college market.
Gotcha.
Because if you just say, look, I want to speak at every school that's closer, the closest you get to Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, they're going to have $0 or they're going to have a very small budget.
Right.
You're going to be wasting your time.
Got you.
This is a business. We want you profitable. I don't want you having to go out and speak in 100-degree heat for $50. I've gotten checks for $50 before, checks for $100 because I was in broke, begging, or desperation mode. There's a better way to do it, Keith. Are you hearing me?
Gotcha. I'm hearing you loud and clear, and I understand.
Okay.
Okay. That's all that I have. Like I said, I will get my bio draft to you this evening.
Stop overthinking your questions with your bio, brother. Your credentials are stellar. You start from where you are, submit it to me. I'll clean it up for you, give you some feedback. You'll be ready for an appearance on MSNBC. All right.
Roger that. Thank you. Love you, bro.
Love you too, bro.
Appreciate you. All right.
Real soon. Peace. Okay. Well, I don't see any more raised hands in here, which can only mean one thing, that we are wrapping up the Monday Q&A call. What a pleasure and honor it is to be your speaker coach and also to be your CTO. And okay, Rico has a question. I apologize, Rico. Rico, it's not over till it's over. Rico.
Hey, coach.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I ain't gonna get off this call unless you hear my voice, even if I don't have a question.
I got Rico, it's always good to hear your voice, man. Always.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I appreciate it. I got your text when you were telling me about, I don't know which video that was, about the mic, about spitting on the mic.
Hey, listen, your mic flow is amazing, bro. Not only did I like it because you look like you were in the studio, but see, again, you're taking that content and you can repurpose it, because you could have easily been on a podcast. You could have easily been in the studio dropping content for some new coaching program or leadership series that you're dropping. You gotta take every advantage of every piece of content that you have and make it work. But my signature is a microphone. You see the microphone in the Speaker Focus logo.
Absolutely.
Austin designed our Speaker Focus logo. I designed this KTR logo. You see the little man at the podium with a microphone. That's my signature. I love microphones. Everything about me, you're gonna see me with that mic in my hand. You're gonna see me with the Countryman. microphone wrapped around my ear, coming around my cheek, or you're going to see me with a lavalier on. The first thing people see before they come into this coaching program is me with the number one hand up like that, with a lavalier microphone, with me, a vest and a tie and a white shirt on with some French cuffs. I mean, listen, bro, I literally used to sleep with the microphone.
Wow.
You got to know you got to know that microphone is my tool, bro. And I want to know how to manage and handle that microphone. So when I used to come off tour, I used to practice live on a live microphone like I was on stage. This is dress rehearsal. I want to hear how my voice is coming through. I had a sound system in my house, in my basement, and I used to stand center stage in the microphone and put a lavalier on, practicing what it feels like to have the lavalier on. Then I would get the handheld Audio Technica and make that go live and walk around. Okay, I'm doing a training. Bro, I will put the LCD projector on and put the power. You have to practice this stuff, man.
Yes, sir.
What are we talking about, Rico? So you got microphones and you're in the studio, you're practicing, you're an entertainer. Let me tell you something, the huge advantage that entertainers have for those that we have on our platform. And we got them all. We got Devin Scott, who plays the ukulele. Devin, he speaks and he plays the ukulele at all these music festivals all around the world. And Devin is an entertainer, bro.
Right.
We got so many singers and people that's in bands and people like you, Rico, that's a producer and they're artists. These people know how to work that audience when they get in front of when they get in front of an audience when they get in front of people that they're educating. KRS-One back in the day used to call it edutainment. He's educating you and he's entertaining you at the same time. That's part of a participant-centered learning style, Rico. I used to look at my evaluation forms and you know what they said?
What's that?
Looking at Kevin T. Robertson's presentation, this is what I learned. But more importantly, this guy, I could not fall asleep. I had a guy he was a narcoleptic. You know what that is? So that means he falls asleep easily.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So when you suffer from that, bro, he told me that this is the first presentation that I never fell asleep. He told me straight up front, listen, Kevin, I have narcolepsy.
Okay.
And if I fall asleep, it's just difficult for me. It's just hard for stuff to hold my attention. My job knows it. It's just difficult for me to stay awake. That guy never fell asleep one time. He said, I don't know what you did. He said, but it was amazing what kind of performance that you put on. You heard what he said? He didn't say a lecture. He said, I gave a performance. And make no mistake about it, Rico, the fact that you're gifted to perform in front of people, that is a part of your presentation. And you should utilize that gift to the very best of your ability. And then when you add the speaking piece and the organized message on top of giving a performance, this is the very reason why I know how to hold people's attention for elongated periods of time. This is why I'm in the top 20% of leadership speakers on planet Earth who know how to do that and transfer knowledge at a high level while being entertaining. You got the same gift, bro. Use it to the best of your ability.
So wait a minute. So let me get this. I know of course, Gilberto, right? He and I, we always been talking.
Yeah.
And he would tell me that even right now, like you see the setup with like the mic and stuff right now. Bro, I got the keyboard like on the left side of me. The only issue I'm having is I have like a Rodecaster, which is kind of like 4 channels, pretty much. But what I did was I went and got, you know how he has on the back of the mics, you have like a mail in that you kind of plug into the back of a board.
Yep.
Well, I got the mail in to go on the back into the Rodecaster mixer, but I had the end that you actually plug into the back of the output or input in the keyboard.
With an XLR cord? Right,
but the only problem was like it played while I had my headphones on.
Okay.
But it's like the sound started to kind of get weaker. And then when I actually did a pre-record before I even tried to go live with it, it was nobody, you couldn't really hear, you didn't hear anything. So my whole concept of doing that was I was trying to keep the same level of quality if I'm speaking, I don't want it like be a different sound variation if I was like do an output. You know what I mean?
You got to do? Yeah, I know
that?
exactly what you're saying. When you start integrating anything from a technical standpoint, you need to test it first. Test it before, test it in the market. Why do you think I told you that? I literally had a staging area set up in my basement when I was touring on a regular basis.
Right.
And especially before I got good at facilitation, you need to listen to your own voice. Right. See, one of the skills as a speaker, you need to listen to your own voice. You're actually listening to what you're saying while you have a dual thought in your head about what your next teaching point, and then to be thinking about what you already said. A lot of speakers are not listening to themselves talk.
Right.
That's the reason why they stumble over words, and their thought patterning is not organized. So I love it. And when you're speaking without a microphone, which typically, and you're going to see this on the audiovisual sheet, on the audiovisual one sheet that's inside of your speaker info kit. Yeah. If it's below typically 50 people or 25 people, it's an intimate setting. Perhaps you don't need a microphone. I request a microphone even in an intimate setting, because when I don't feel like raising my voice, that's what the microphone is for.
Absolutely.
And you need to protect your voice at all costs. I've almost lost my voice about 10 times throughout my professional career, and it scared the death out of me. There's no way I'm gonna allow that. And that's why I go, when I'm touring heavily, or I'm even talking right now, I'll go on voice rest for a whole day. I won't say one word. If I say something, it'll be at a whisper. And that's the reason why I practice. See, a lot of speakers don't like practicing, but the reason why I'm so good at what I do is because I practice when I'm not on tour. I practice my presentations. You should be saying your signature programs out loud every single day.
Absolutely.
See, you don't need to be reading them. You should be able to close your eyes. And I have literally memorized. When I write new verbiage, I literally say it over and over. Don't just read it. Say it out loud so I can read my signature programs. When I can see what the titles are. I can read what the descriptions are. I embody it. So when I'm talking to the conference coordinator, it's go time. See, you're going to have a countdown. When you're talking to the meeting planner, it's going to say, okay, this speaker is talking a lot of shit about what they can offer. And then you're going to hear a little clock to go down. Like when you step onto the line of scrimmage and you're playing football. They're reading the clock. They got about what, 24 seconds to call the play? Well, it's going to get down to 1, and you better snap the damn ball and put your play into motion. Because the meeting planner is going to be thinking 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you prepared to deliver value to the meeting planner, or are you going to be stumbling over your words? Well, yeah, listen, the reason why you should hire me is because, what I can do for your audience is the reason why you should hire me. You haven't said shit, but stumble over your words. Now, my name is Rico, and I teach See, my name is KTR, and I teach leadership strategies of magnified success. I heard you loud and clear, Ms. Johnson. And the very thing that you're going through right now, which is diversity, inclusion, you're lacking that. You're lacking team communication. Morale is off. The pandemic has thrown us all off. Here are the outcomes that I can help your audience with. And I created a signature program called that will remedy the very thing you're going through right now.
Yep.
See, that's the countdown, Rico. Are you ready and prepared to deliver that value to your meeting planner or your conference coordinator? It's either simple yes or no. You already know how to hold their attention because you have that skill as an entertainer. You put the other skill we're teaching you on this platform, you're going to be dangerous, bro. Why do you think I was so successful in the corporate and association marketplace? Because not only could I hold their attention, but I would go in with the blistering truth, break them down like we was in boot camp in the Army, and build them up. The very next second, I would give them the strategy to tell them how to repair it. Now, let me tell you something. In the beginning, I didn't know how to put some honey on it to make it easy to digest. So I was just a lot of brawn and lacking on the brain department. But when I balanced it out, and they knew that I was down for them, and they knew I was there to help them, And I was giving them that tough love, just like how I do you, Rico.
Yeah.
Because you can't be giving tough love all the time, hanging your foot up somebody's ass. They ain't going to listen to you. You better be prepared after you tell them how they're messing up. You better be prepared to tell them how they need to fix it. How to, simple, practical application strategies. They don't give a damn about the what. Don't tell them what to do. Teach them how to do it. And this business will reward you, my friend, for a lifetime. I can't wait to go back on tour.
Wow, man, dude, all I can say is every morning, now that I have this piece, it's not saying that I didn't believe before, but now that I have this, I was blessed with this mic, man. It's like, it fits perfect. It's like, it's like I wake up and I feel so fulfilled to come to the desk and share content. Like, I've been watching your videos on when you post them on social media.
Yeah.
Like, you know, being able to put content out like that. And even if it's just for a few minutes, I didn't know that even with LinkedIn, bro. I didn't even know I was going to post one the other day, but it said I was over the time limit. So LinkedIn only has like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. That's why I make all my videos. See, in my space, no other speaker coach on planet Earth breaks the speaking game down the way I do and post those videos. LinkedIn, the organic outreach on LinkedIn is insane. When they start clicking around on your content, this is part of the pre-selling. Your social media is part of the pre-sale.
Right.
Watch this. Hold up. I gotta show everybody something. Watch this. Hold on. This is part of the pre-selling. This is what y'all need to understand. You need to understand the voice recognition is taking over. VR is so important. Watch this. This is what people do. Who is Kevin T. Robertson?
According to KevinTrobertson.com, Kevin T. Robertson is CEO and co-founder of SpeakerFocus.com. Since 1988, he has delivered 2,700 plus paid keynote speeches, public and on-site seminars.
You see? Google.
Yes, sir.
That's what Google says about me when somebody says, who is Kevin T. Robertson?
Yes, sir.
See? I control the narrative. And that's what we're teaching you. You have got to start posting content to control the narrative. Listen, Rico, marketing is me making you believe what I want you to believe. When the truth is behind it, it is the most powerful thing going. Let me tell you something. I visited Austin one time. We were at our home office is where Austin is, in Austin, Texas. On Guadalupe Street is where the main office is for SpeakerFocus.com. So me and Austin was coming from the bank one time, and we were just walking down. We were walking down, getting ready to go to another restaurant. We had a meeting with one of our coaching students in the area, and Austin says some shit to me, man, that just blew my mind. He said, like, the digital marketing strategies that we're using for SpeakerFocus.com, they're not really meant for any other business other than tech. And then what he said to me afterwards, I will never forget it. He said, but when you apply the digital marketing strategies of what they're using for these SaaS companies and these startups, when you apply it to business models outside of startups in tech, he said it's even more powerful than you can possibly imagine. He said, but most people don't know how to manipulate it, Kevin, and that's why they're losing. I said, so wait a minute, Austin. So what you're telling me is that the shit that you took from the tech world and we implemented it into my ideology and my approach to leadership and the speaker coaching and the curriculum and da-da-da-da-da. He said, yes. He said, keep going. And I said, I said, bro, are the sales funnels supposed to convert at the level that ours convert? He was like, hell no. There's a reason why ours converts. 66% open rates on email is not common, Rico, but that's what happens for us. Right. It's the pre-sale that does it, Rico. It's what makes it so powerful. Because when I said, who is Kevin T. Robertson? I didn't say that. Who said it? Siri said it. The Google lady said it. Now, when you start getting the client, because they're going to start clicking on every single link for you. Now, obviously, it takes a little bit of time to get established where Google's going to say who you are.
Right.
That's when you reach celebrity status. Okay, so watch this. I'm right up there with the rest of the other, the most popular Kevins in the world. Who is Kevin T. Robertson? Who is Kevin Bacon? Watch this. Who is Kevin Bacon?
According to Wikipedia, Kevin Norwood Bacon is an American actor.
See, he's an American actor. Okay, watch this. Who is Kevin Hart?
According to Wikipedia, Kevin Darnell Hart is an American stand-up comedian and actor.
There you go. She's just drawing from all the content that they have about whoever this is, and they're controlling the narrative with their professional credentials. Why do you think your bio is so important?
Right.
Why do you think the opening, what Google says about me is the opening in my bio? Isn't that amazing? It's written in third person. It doesn't say I am this. It says Kevin T. Robertson is. Why do you think I'm teaching you all of this stuff? These are pages out of me and Austin's personal playbook, Rico. Is this sinking in?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
sir.
That's all you got to do is follow the system, bro. And eventually, when they start clicking on all of your links, you're going to dominate the search engine with your, see, why do you think I post those videos like that on LinkedIn? Because no other speaker coach in my space knows how to do that.
Right.
They don't. There's not any, you can't Google this stuff. Rico, one last question before we wrap up the group call. What is the biggest thing you notice when you look at those videos that I drop on when you go to LinkedIn? What is it that you notice? Because there's a specific formula that I follow. I want to see if you're picking up on what I'm putting down.
Before you talk or just when I see it?
Just when you see it, like your overall, like, okay, this is my observation. Overall, what is it?
First of all, it's that copy. When I
Okay.
see that link, when you actually, the way you actually position it.
Mm-hmm.
And then.
So you notice the title. You notice the title gets your attention.
I know, right. I know that that's the first thing they give me.
Notice that the theme of the copy that I always come up with, Tito, for the I apologize, Rico, for the theme, always have a theme.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of my target market is people that don't understand the speaking industry. And you know what I say to him, Rico? I just get right down to it. The reason why your ass is not booking high fee speaking engagements is because, and then I fill in the blank.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yep.
And then I come up with 10 minutes worth of sticking to the subject of whatever it is that's in that copy to let you know why you ain't booking high fee speaking engagements. So when they start clicking around, listen, I ain't never heard nobody speak like that before in my life. And I need to be talking to him because he's the only one that's going to give me the information. See, you can't get that anywhere else. They call that market differentiation and market separation. All of you can do the same exact thing with your brands. All you got to do is just speak from your heart and speak authentic. That's all you got to do. What's the other thing that you noticed, Rico, about the video? And then we can wrap up the group call.
Man. I mean, the way, what you've already said, but I mean, it's like they just get an inkling of the way you like just authentic and you just bring it like in your face. Like, I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude that's on that BS.
Yeah.
You want real coaching. You want to really know about the game. That's what I'm saying. It's the way you present it and the way you say it. It's so believable that I'm like, man, this is the real deal. I mean, I knew that from the jump.
Yeah, Rico, you can't talk like that, bro, unless you lived it.
Right.
You just can't.
Right.
And guess what? And I want you to do the same thing with your experiences. See, I didn't live your experience, but I lived mine. And you're just as authentic as I am. Talk your truth, brother. Talk your talk. Walk your walk. That's how you walk in your purpose. And let me tell you something, man. People are going to pick up on what you're putting down. And that's how you draw customers to yourself. You draw customers by, listen to me. I tell everybody, I tell all of you the same thing up front. My kind of honesty is not for everybody. I got people tell me they don't appreciate. Well, if you don't appreciate honesty, you're an asshole. And I don't care. I don't care. I serve the people that want to know the truth. And when you want to know the truth about this business, then I'm the person you need to talk to. And I don't need to tell you how super fantastic I am. Start clicking on all of the links and start doing your due diligence. And that's why I do it, Rico, because I don't have time to be trying to convince you about how great I am, or me and Austin. You'll be able to see the results. You can show up on the Monday group call. They can go to YouTube, and everybody, when they show up on the call with me, we tell you everything. Be prepared.
Hey, all I got to tell you is, Coach, I know this. By doing what you're talking about, even when if you notice, when I come out, I actually say my name, but I also say I'm Rico McAdory, Identity Leadership Specialist, providing leadership techniques that build character. Right. And I go right. I mean, I've done that, and I'm telling you, like even on LinkedIn,
yep,
I'm seeing like there are people that like have booking me. If it's not for speaking, it's like they want to know more on the coaching side.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. It's happening. Like it's got three have already happened. Yep. Like in a date.
Rico, don't be afraid to give away free information, brother. And LinkedIn is undervalued. It's undervalued. You start teaching lessons on LinkedIn about your coaching, and watch how much organic growth in inbox messages that you receive. And if you had a structured sales funnel set up, let me tell you something. It's like a pinball machine. You got a whole lot of action going on. That's the best way I could describe it. And that's the reason why we teach it from the perspective. You have got to build it out the right way first. Austin is reverse engineered every single thing about our business. He's reverse engineering. He saw the problem and he said, okay, let's work the problem backwards. Let's figure out what the real solution is. And that's why we teach you how to service your clients the same exact way, because not only what we're doing is working. If you look at the biggest people in the internet and why their sales funnel converts, you look at Alex Becker, you look at Ty Lopez, you look at Frank Kern, you look at Gary V, you look at all of the people that have the top level. It ain't nothing but a handful of us that know how to run ads globally. Why you think you keep seeing the same ads on Facebook all the time? Why you think the people are skilled at retargeting? Because we know how to get the lead to convert into revenue. Now, you better smarten up and spend the majority of your time in module number 5, but you got to have your business set up the right way first so you can start doing outreach. And when you start doing outreach, all you got to do it. Listen, you can show up every single Monday and hear new people saying every single time how much they appreciate what Austin has done and follow the techniques and all of it in there, bro. You build it the right way. And this is a business that's going to reward you for a lifetime. And then you can sit a cut above your competition, because most of the people on YouTube, they don't give a damn about the conference coordinator. And you can see it in every single thing it is that they do. They don't care about the coaching student. They are full of bullshit telling you what to do, but they're not showing you how to do it. I just eliminate all of them because they can't do what I do. They can't do it the way I do it. And the people who think that they can, they're mistaken that they're even in my class. You need to just forget that, okay? And the reason why is because I do exactly what my mother told me how to do. She said, you be true to yourself and you tell it like it is. If people can't take that because you tell the truth, then those are not the people for you, baby. Those aren't your friends, baby. Those aren't your business associates, baby. Those aren't your clients, baby. And you don't worry about them. You hear me? That's how my mother still talks to me.
Mine too.
and that's why I'm talking to you like this. What's for you is for you.
Right.
And what clients you're going to get, you're going to attract them because your authenticity. Now that you can take to the bank.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no promise, bro. I don't have time for hyperbole. I don't have time. I don't make promises. I make guarantees.
Yes,
This
sir.
shit works because it gets results. If you do the work, just like you're doing right now, you're going to reap the rewards and the benefits. Rico, you got any other questions or comments?
No, I don't. Appreciate you so much. And don't lighten up on me. Stay like that.
Hey,
Rico, I
Rico.
really appreciate that.
So watch this, Rico. Last but not least.
Go ahead.
Remember, I need you to write this down for me before we get off the group call.
Go ahead.
When you remember, the first place you need to post your videos is on LinkedIn. What I do is I go to LinkedIn first. because I keep the cap on it for 10 minutes. I record a video from my phone. I literally lean up, press record, lean back, start making my video. When it's over, I lean back up, I hit record, the video's over. I make sure the video is under 10 minutes.
Right.
When I record it, the first thing I do is I flip the video around, because my KTR logo, if I got a shirt on or whatever, my pocket square, it should be on. When I'm looking at the video, I gotta flip the video. So that's the first thing I do. It has to save. So if I went a little bit over, I trim the video on the back end. Sometimes I go 10 minutes and 7 seconds. I hate it when I do it, but you know what I do? I pick a point when I could cut it off, and I said too much, and I just cut the video off, and sometimes I bring it to a dead stop. Oh, 9:57 is when I should have cut it off. I said too much. I just cut it off, and then I save it. It's gonna take about maybe 5 to 7 minutes for it to render out. And then once it's saved on my phone, the first place I do it is I go in and I write the copy for it. The reason why you're not a high fee speaker is because you don't want to speak the unadulterated truth or whatever my theme is. I create the copy, I put it in LinkedIn, and I don't say watch this, check that. I don't say none of that. Because once a video is up there, they know it's a video. Put the title up there, it's gonna get their attention, and that creates engagement. Then I go put it up on Instagram. Instagram is only going to allow you to share a real quick video. So you got to say, do you want to share a long video on IGTV? You're going to say yes. It's going to post it. So it's going to give them a little bit of the video. Then it's going to say, watch here. And it's going to take them into another screen, and they're going to watch the whole video. Then I go and put it on my personal page, public figure page. And we got 3 other pages set up to run ads. And I put it on all of it. So no matter what you click on from me, and you're trying to get into the speaking game, right, these little lessons along the way. And then the other stuff I post up is I show you about my lifestyle. I show you about what I'm feeling about whatever. I put up something called Confessions of a Professional Speaker the other day.
Right, I saw that.
Keep that engagement up for people who want to do business with us, Rico. That is part of the pre-selling process. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so pick a theme and post a video under 10 minutes. And then when you post this, send me the link and say, hey, KTR, check this out and let me know what you think. Rico, make it about the coaching service that you offer, or make it about your signature programs, and take them to school. Rico, remember, class is always in session. You got it?
Got it. So you said theme and then post video under 10 minutes. And then what was the last one?
Post a video under 10 minutes and then make it a theme. Remember, whatever your coaching theme is, whatever pain point you want to hit, you got to make your theme around the pain.
Gotcha.
Other than that, why am I watching your stuff?
Gotcha.
You got it?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
When you going to put your next video
up? In the morning. First thing in the morning.
Post it up, and then let me know that you got it up, and I'll give you some feedback on it. Okay.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Talk to you real soon. Okay. Right. Everybody, I want to thank you. And when I say I'm talking about this, thanks is from a really, really special place. Thank you for all of the observations. Thank you for everybody who enjoyed the call. Daryl, great call tonight. Thank you so much for showing up, taking out your time. I want to thank you from a very special place, because what you're doing is you are the very reason why we are in business. You are the very reason why when me and Auston Troyer put this vision together and created speakerfocus.com, we knew it never had been done before. But damn it, when you're a pioneer, trailblazer, or maverick, you got to do shit that's never been tried before. And the very reason why it is working is because of you. You give us a reason, you give us a purpose. We show up for these group calls because we want to help you, and you are responding. The market has spoken, and you are the market. You are doing the work. And I want to thank each and every one of you who join our platform, and you do participate in the group calls, and you do submit support tickets, and you are doing the work. Me and Auston value you dearly, and we appreciate you sharing. Sharing is caring. We appreciate you sharing and teaching other students about your experience that you're having. I never thought it was ever going to come to this, to be honest with you. But it's happening way bigger than what we ever thought. And it's growing so fast that it's a train that's going, a locomotive that's going 200 plus miles an hour, and there's just no stopping it. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We love you, we care for you, and we appreciate you. you stay focused on your goals and dreams, and you keep your head down and keep working your speaker brand and let it reward you for the rest of your life. See you right here, same place next time on the Monday Group Q&A call on the speakerfocus.com platform. Peace.